and he's gone for a strong lineup tonight, Arne Slot, which underlines to me, I think, that the understanding that he has of his own situation. He's asked the fans tonight to be right behind his team. He thanked them for the support they got in midweek, and he says everyone needs to stick together. Now, that's what you usually hear from a manager that feels a little bit of pressure. And you look at the team tonight, I think he knows how important the FA Cup could be to his side if he could go all the way.
Well, look, Hugh, I know he won the Premier League last season, but I think when you become the coach or manager of a club like Liverpool, I think there's pressure every single week. Surely, you have to win football games. And when you start losing games or your form isn't as good as what it should be, then everybody starts to ask questions. There was pressure on Arne Slot a couple of weeks ago. So the wins over the last couple of weeks, obviously at the weekend against Sunderland, they're huge. Doesn't matter how you get them, they're huge wins. And you're right, this FA Cup is an important competition. Forget about Champions League, forget about winning the Premier League. They're not going to do that this season. Let's be brutally honest with you. They might go all the way in the Champions League, I do not know. It just depends who turns up every single week and if they get a nice run to the final. But the FA Cup is tonight, and it's a huge game for Arne Slot and his Liverpool side tonight, and I think the fans in here tonight have got to get behind them. Look, I've never been let down when I've come to this stadium midweek, whether it's Champions League, EFL Cup or FA Cup. I'm expecting the same tonight, but I'm expecting Liverpool to come out the traps really, really sharpish.
It was almost a complete performance in many ways, even though the scoreline was only 1-0 against Sunderland, because you look at every facet of the game and you'd say those Liverpool players really performed well against the good Sunderland side, who of course hadn't been beaten at home all season.
No, absolutely. And look, myself and Mark have been to the stadium alike. We know how difficult it's been for sides to come to the stadium alike. Arsenal found it difficult to get anything there. There's been other sides who've gone to the stadium this season. They had to be really astute at the back, nice and solid, try and nullify Sunderland to a certain amount of chances in the game. I know Liverpool had a lot of chances, but I think it was 4 or 5 on target, and they had to work hard for that goal, Hugh. That was a massive win for them. It really was. The temperature, the weather was horrible, but even midfield they were nice and solid, and those forward players had to figure out a way of breaking down Sunderland.
It was interesting. I know a lot of Liverpool fans don't think Arne Slot goes for it, and after Liverpool took the lead, the substitutions indicated that he might have been happy with just to be more solid and not give any chances away, but his team saw it through in a really professional manager, and it was an excellent win in midweek. But it helped pile pressure on Fabian Hürzeler. 1 win in 13 Premier League games for him. I know we're turning our attention to the FA Cup. How important is tonight for him, do you think?
Well, if you look at their away form in the Premier League, which has been really poor, no win in 6, and they're just scratching and searching around for a win at the moment. It's not great. Look, they've sold all these players on for £100 million here, there and everywhere. It seems like they all seem to go to Chelsea. But he's got to start winning football matches. He's a young man. He's done really well in the time that he has been there, but he's now starting to feel a little bit of pressure. I
just wonder, you've got to give a young manager like he was when he came into the club, you've got to give him time. There's a lot of young players, of course. We know what the business model is when it comes to transfers at Brighton. Those players need to be given time to grow as well. And for me, that means that you can't expect a constant upward trajectory when it comes to Brighton and Hove Albion. There has to be a dip at some stage.
I agree with you, and I hope you do as well, Mark. Look, when you think about some of the players who are playing tonight, Castellous, 19 years old, Harry Howell, 17 years old. This is what it is. It's a recruiting club. They bring players through to give them that chance in the first team, and hopefully, they become the seed, becomes a flower, and then they can go in 2 years' time and go and sell these players on for whatever figures that they want to sell them for. That's what I see Brighton as. So sometimes, reality check, have a look at where this club used to be.
Liverpool fans stand, they've got all of their scarves held above their head. Always a special moment inside Anfield as You'll Never Walk Alone rings out. Just looking ahead to the game itself, and in particular, Mickey, this first half, is it about survival for Brighton? Is it about feeling their way into this game? And for Liverpool, the converse, using these fans to their advantage and getting ahead early?
I wouldn't say that. I don't think Brighton are that team, if I'm brutally honest with you. I don't think they're a side who can sit back and soak up pressure for 45 minutes. I think that, they've got so many talented players in those forward positions, a little bit more experience with Gross coming back to the club as well. I think they've got to try and take the game to Liverpool. Look, they've been vulnerable themselves this season, Liverpool. We saw them a couple of weeks ago against Man City. I know it was a brilliant game, and the way that the end of the game was just absolutely bonkers. But I think they've got to try and figure out a way of breaking down Liverpool, and they have to do that in the first half.
We shall see if we get another barnstormer in the FA Cup 4th round. It is Liverpool against Brighton. Liverpool haven't lost any of their last 11 meetings against the South Coast side here at Anfield. That record stretches back to the 5th round in 1983, when the one and only Jimmy Case, winner of 3 European Cups and 4 league titles with Liverpool, gave the Seagulls a famous win. Will history repeat itself tonight? Your commentary team is former Sunderland and England wide man Mickey Gray and Talksport's Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Hugh. Always a special occasion here when knockout football arrives at Anfield, and it's a place in the next round of the FA Cup that's up for grabs. So 2 teams that really could do with progressing tonight. Liverpool, 4 changes from their win at Sunderland. No Wataru Endo after that horrible injury midweek. Andy Robertson, Ryan Gravenberch and Hugo Ekitike also miss out on the starting 11 as Kirkes, Szoboszlai, Jones and Chiesa come in. It's 3 changes for Brighton. Verbruggen, Welbeck and Mitoma miss out as Steele, Howell and Kostoulis come in. So it's Alisson Becker in goal, Jones, Konate, Van Dijk and Kirkes at the back for Liverpool. Szoboszlai and McAllister in the middle with Salah, Wirtz, Gakpo and Chiesa in the advanced position. We are underway here at Anfield. What a day it's been across the Talksport network. It started this lunchtime as West Ham rode their luck and needed extra time to beat Burton. And here Brighton on the attack already as they attack the Kop end here. Their blue and white striped shirts, blue shorts and blue socks. The all red, of course, of Liverpool here. Brighton will go all the way back to their keeper Jason Steele, who plays behind Kadioglu, Dunk, Van Hecke and Veltman. It's Hinshelwood, Believer and Gross in the middle, with Howell, Kostoulis and Gomez in the advanced positions. And well, Mickey Gray watched Brighton play at Old Trafford, and they played football like this because they've got him down the right hand side here. An early chance into the penalty area here for Kostoulis. Needs some support, lays it back. It's Pascal Gross who has it. Kostoulis just dwelt on the ball a little bit too long. But I'm a firm believer, Mickey Gray. I think Brighton's best form of defence tonight is attack.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Said in the build-up to this game, Liverpool can be vulnerable at times, and just a point in case, a lovely little ball down the side in the early stage of this game, and Virgil van Dijk just caught on his heels a little bit, but to give Kostoulis the opportunity to get it behind him.
Yeah, and Kadioglu almost got him behind the Liverpool defence down the Brighton left. It's cleared away, and Brighton have made a good start here. Just over a minute gone, and it has been all played really in the Liverpool half. Away to our right, we're high up in the main stand here opposite the Sekeni Dalglish stand over on the far side, and Brighton just popping off the passes. They went to Old Trafford and played really well on that night, and they've come here despite their poor run of form. They've had a confident start early doors. Ball flicked round the corner by Gross, and there's a chance here if they look up to the left. Kadioglu's made a run into the penalty area here, looking to work it onto his right foot for the shot. The shot was blocked at source. Salah will nick it away, and now he's looking to counter down the Liverpool right hand side. He cuts in field looking for support. He's looking for a ball straight through the middle of the defence, and it's a good header in the end by Van Hecke to save Brighton. But what a start.
Yeah, what a move from Brighton. Nearly finished off by Kadioglu down that left-hand side, but as he chopped in onto his right foot, he gave Curtis Jones the opportunity just to nick the ball away with Mo Salah on the front foot. As soon as Salah picked the ball up, he just looked up, and he didn't really have a lot of options, but I think Van Hecke got a little bit fortunate, Mark, didn't he? He was running back towards his own goal. It kind of grazed off the side of his head, and fortunately for him, straight into the arms of Steele.
Yeah. Again, the ball flipped round the corner. Here is Kostoulis now driving towards the penalty area, tries to slide it through for Gomez, and out quickly comes Alisson to relieve the danger. I think that was a surprise for us tonight when Alisson was named in the starting 11.
Yeah, it certainly was. We all had Mamardashvili in Liverpool nets tonight, but he's gone very strong, hasn't he, Arne Slot? And as we were talking to Hugh in the build-up to this game, I think this is an important competition, not just for Brighton, but certainly for Liverpool. You can talk about Champions League football all you like, Mark, until it comes back around again. We don't know what you're going to get from Liverpool, but Premier League's gone. Champions League football, yes, at the end of the season would be a positive, but this is a huge competition for Liverpool.
Certainly is. 3 gone here at Anfield Live on Talksport. Plenty more FA Cup action tomorrow. Gets underway at midday. Birmingham against Leeds. You'll be there for that one. Grimsby, Wolves, Oxford, Sunderland and Arsenal, Wigan are all live on the Talksport network. And it's been a great day of action already today. We've just seen a controversial but thrilling match between Aston Villa and Newcastle. Villa were leading before Bizot got sent off. Ridiculous sending off from his point of view. Newcastle 3 second half goals to wrap up the win. Much to the light of you, Mickey Gray, I imagine.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy watching that game, to be honest with you, or the result, but no, it was fantastic. Yeah, some of them challenges and VAR, I shouldn't really say it, should I, but it's sometimes great not to have it.
Yeah, well, we've not got it here either, so we'll be in the hands of the officials on the field. And here now goes Baliba driving down the right-hand side into Liverpool territory. Does well to hang on to possession, looks for a crossfield pass and he finds one. Kadioglu again advanced down that left-hand side. He looked for the give and go, but Brighton just checked back and retained possession here. You can almost see a 3-5-2 formation across the pitch from a Liverpool perspective as Brighton now switch the ball to this near side, and Pascal Gross rejoined the club this year. He just retains possession. This has been a confident start from Brighton.
It has. Very, very confident on the ball, and some of the little flicks, you just mentioned his name there, Mark, from Pascal Gross, when it got played into him in the opposition's half, the little nick just round the corner with the outside of his foot, absolutely beautiful to watch.
Was, and here now is a chance for Howell. The teenager turns in space, he feeds it wide. Here's Gomez, he can hit them from distance, opts to pass it, looking to maybe get the cross in. Here's Hinshelwood, he'll just lay it back again, and Lewis Dunk will feed it out wide on that Brighton left-hand side. They're about 30 yards out from the Cop-end goal here. And now Van Hecke has it, and he now will look just to pop off the passes as Liverpool look to press and almost nick the ball away. Now they do nick the ball away, but the pass forward was blocked initially. But now the chance is on for the Liverpool break as they look to switch play, but Veltman was back and did well just to cushion the header, and Brighton play out of their own half really well. But Liverpool just showing there when they want to press, they're going to cause Brighton problems.
Yeah, but look, they've got plenty of gears to go through, Liverpool.
Liverpool tried to nick it on the edge of the box as Steele tried to play out from the back, cleared towards halfway. Liverpool enjoying their little spell here, their first real attacking threat, but they've turned the ball over, and now forward will go Brighton. And Virgil van Dijk is relieved to see Konate just inside him, and he will ease it back to Alisson, who will feed it out wide on the far side. So, and it is Curtis Jones, by the way, who has started at right back early on, but we expect that to change and be a fluid position.
Yeah, he has come inverted on a couple of occasions without picking up the ball, Curtis Jones, but I think it's not really helping them because Brighton have had so much of the possession. I think one concern for me, Mark, when I've been seeing Brighton in these early stages, Kadioglu, they work the ball really well out to that left-hand side, but he keeps wanting to come back onto his right foot. If he stretches the pitch and just on the odd occasion just try and wrap his left foot around a couple of crosses, it gets your right back Jones asking questions of what he's going to do with the ball.
Yeah, good point made by a man who knows that position very well, having played for Sunderland so many times and England, of course. Mickey Gray with us tonight here at Anfield, where it is Liverpool 0, Brighton 0. Brighton have it at the back. Dunk will go back to Steele, who is the cup goalkeeper, if you like, for Fabian Hürzeler. Made a couple of key saves at Old Trafford. Didn't have a lot to do that night, but he did make a couple of nice saves. And Steele back in for FA Cup action here tonight, live on Talksport. He's there all in yellow. This time he's going to go long. He hits it high across field. Jones could let this roll out if he wants, and he does. One bounce and out. We've had 7 minutes here at Anfield. It is still Liverpool 0, Brighton 0.
Well, a bright start to the game. Really is. I love it when an away side comes to an away ground and takes the game to the home team, and it's not often you see that at a stadium like Anfield against a side like Liverpool, but there's no doubt Brighton are on the front foot and they're trying to get themselves in front of the game if they can early doors.
Well, Alisson almost got caught in possession there. He managed to get the ball away. Here's Cody Gakpo. He's backtracking now and maybe fortunate to get a free kick there about 10-15 yards inside his own half down the Liverpool left. And McAllister will wander across to take it, and Liverpool will look to get things going. But just a couple of times at the back, Liverpool looked a little bit edgy playing the ball out.
Yeah, I have to say, I think they've been really sloppy at times, Liverpool. They look as if they're, half a yard away from it. And we heard Arnie Slot, didn't we, in the build-up to the game, saying, he stayed up all night to figure out what 11 he was going to play. And I don't know if... Look, it's early doors and it might change, and of course I'm sure it will. We're in for a great game, but... players might just be a little bit tired, maybe not expecting to be playing in this game, but they're out there, they need to give their best.
Yeah, they certainly do. Here's Harry Howell driving forward, he was upended, and that will be a free kick. Chiesa it was who brought him down, Only 17 years of age, Harry Howell. Just his 5th appearance of the season. He's already been linked with a big move away. And you were mentioning it about nurturing these young boys. This is another one off the Brighton production line.
Absolutely. Looks really talented, doesn't he? When he picks that ball up on his left foot, not frightened to take up players on. He's direct. And what I've seen of him so far, it looks as if he's a real talent.
Yeah, got a League Cup goal at Barnsley earlier in the year. And now a free kick and a set piece in a dangerous position. It is way to the right, but it's only about 32 yards out. Pascal Gross is going to look to swing this one in. Liverpool defending round about the penalty spot area. It's whipped into that penalty spot. It'll fall far post for Brighton. They'll lay it back here. Could be a chance. Kenny Ogle on his right foot. He tried to curl it and it was straight at Alisson. And Liverpool will look to counter here. Salah is racing forward. Beautiful first touch. Takes 3 Brighton defenders out of the game. Now he's looking for it back. Left hand side of the penalty area. Looks to turn back away from goal. He's got support with him. That's Wirtz. He can't find a man, and Brighton will nick it back. And as they look to try and break, they didn't have anyone in advance of the halfway line, and in the end they end up passing it out of play for a Liverpool throw-in.
Yeah, well, listen to that Liverpool crowd as well, urging their team on. Best move with Salah down this left-hand side, just couldn't quite get the ball back.
And here's Szoboszlai, feeds it out wide on the Liverpool right. They're really starting to attack now. Salah has it, back to goal, down the right side of the penalty area. They had the chance to put a cross in. There are plenty waiting for the cross for Liverpool. Plenty of red shirts. They try then and feed it through, but it falls back to Szoboszlai. He's got Curtis Jones. Goes past his man. Looking to drive into the box here. Could be a chance. In fact, it was Salah who nicked in, but couldn't find a way through the Brighton defence. But best we've seen from Liverpool, still 0-0.
Yeah, it's brilliant from Salah, isn't it? The way he just skips away from his marker there. But did he take an extra touch? He didn't need to.
Chiesa has a shot edge of the box, loops up in the air, headed away by Brighton. Canate heads it forward. Brighton will bring it down edge of their area. They're looking for an out ball. They don't have one, but they find Pascal Gross, who just lays it back to Van Hecke, and he'll look to just steady things down here for Brighton. Belieber has it. He'll get it away, and just playing keep ball here after a little bit of a nervy spell there for Brighton, but their goal remains intact as Howell is dispossessed on halfway. But Liverpool just starting to grow into the game here.
Yeah, well, the game's opening up a little bit now, isn't it? You can see the 2 wide players, Liverpool, to making more advanced forward runs. I still think that they've got to get McAllister and Szoboszlai involved in the game a little bit more. Not really mentioned them too much so far in the early stages of this game, but just need to start trying to control the football a little bit. It's been all Brighton, and you're right, when they make those runs forward, Liverpool, they look such a better side.
Yeah, they do. Here is Chiesa. Gets it back, pops off the pass to Kerkez. He finds McAllister. Virgil van Dijk has it on halfway. Finds Canate to his right. He feeds it out wide on the Liverpool right-hand side. There's a turn from Jones. He's looking to try and get the ball back to Mo Salah. Couldn't find him, but does retain possession. And now it's Brighton's turn to drop back into shape. You're live on Talksport. Ball over the top. Kerkez is onside. Play on, pulls it back. Side-footed towards goal. And it's, well, the flag has eventually gone over. I think Kerkez's shot actually hit his own teammate Gakpo there. What a touch from Kerkez. It looked like he'd gone offside. We're going to get a replay of it now. Oof. Tell you what, if they'd have been drawing the lines, Mickey Gray, it wouldn't have been too far off.
Do you know, I'm really surprised. I'm happy I've seen that replay of the offside mark. I'm still not sure if he is offside. It was a great ball over the top from Van Dijk to Kerkez, who I think timed his run to perfection. When he chopped that ball back onto his right foot, you're thinking, goal. But Gakpo was just stood in the way. I mean, it was as if he just looked to the linesman and said, seen the flag go up. I didn't actually see it. Play on until that ball hits the back of the net.
Yeah, it did go up late. Brighton pick it up on halfway here. We've had almost 13 minutes. You're live on Talksport tonight. Plenty more FA Cup action. Birmingham Leeds will be a cracker. Midday Talksport tomorrow. That'll be a nice way to get the day started. Mickey will have his eyes and ears on Oxford Sunderland, 2 o'clock on Talksport. And Arsenal Wigan is exclusively live on Talksport at 4:30. They've also got Grimsby against Wolves at 1:30. That could be a decent FA Cup tie.
No, absolutely. Yeah, does Rob want to? Well, I'm talking about Wolves here. Yeah. Did he want to go far?
Well, here's Gomez from a quickly taken free kick. Has driven his way to the penalty area, pulls it across goal, and there was nobody following it up. Well, I think Gomez was hoping to shoot. He scuffed it back across goal, and somebody there in a blue and white shirt should have been attacking that ball.
Well, it was Kostulas who was at the back post. Gomez has done brilliantly and it looked like it was kind of shot come cross. He scuffed it a little bit, but Kostulas, again, he's on his heels as that ball's rolled across. Forward players, that's where you just nick those little simple 2 or 3 yarders and add to your tally for the season, but he just got caught out and left too late.
Yeah, and now a chance for the break as Wirtz gets the ball away on the Liverpool right-hand side. Salah driving forward now. Just lays it back to Wirtz, who's got it. He lays it back to Salah in the middle. Chiesa and Gakpo. Wait, that's a foul right on the edge of the penalty area. About 6 yards from the byline, right on the right-hand side of the penalty area. And I think the first yellow card is coming out, and Lewis Dunk is going to be on the end of it. He's not happy about that, but I don't think there was any complaints about the foul. He was late, and he did stand on the foot of Wirtz.
Well, he's got to do better there, Lewis Dunk. He can see the little give and go from Salah to Wirtz, and Wirtz is really clever. He's starting to shine, isn't he, in a Liverpool shirt now, and he just knows that he's not going to get round Dunk, so if he can get to the ball first, nick it away from him, he knows the contact's going to come, and this is a dangerous position for Mo Salah. If the quality's there, you can see 4 or 5 Liverpool players kind of around the edge of the 18-yard area, and they will make moves into that area if the quality's there.
Well, he is.
Fancy a chance.
Yeah, he's dead level, isn't he, with the 6-yard line, just to the right of the penalty area. Will he drive it low? What's he going to do? Still waits at the near post, the Brighton goalkeeper. Here comes Salah now. There's plenty of movement in the middle. He fires it towards the far post, and that won't have been too far away, but it took all his teammates out of it. Whether it was a shot or a miss-hit cross, I'm not sure.
Well, Mark, I'm looking at Florian Wirtz from that free kick, and you can see every Brighton player have kind of gone round the 6-yard up box. They're all expecting him to whip it into where he did, Mo Salah. If that little pullback to Wirtz is on, the little side pass to Wirtz, a little pass from Wirtz into the bottom corner, probably a better option for me.
Yeah, here's Steele having to play out from inside his own 6-yard box. Risky. Put Belieber under all sorts of pressure. Belieber in the end just smuggled it away. It was more just a hit and hope, and it's thumped out by Brighton, who almost shot themselves in the foot there.
Well, Belieber's just having a look at Steele in that Brighton goal and just waving his hand to say, no, don't give me the ball there. Liverpool are one of the best pressing sides in the final third. If you want to play out from the back, your passing has got to be 100%. He's basically just put him in trouble, and the pressure comes now back onto Brighton. Yeah,
he's actually done well there, Belieber, just to get that ball away from immediate danger. Kirkes has given it away from the throw-in. Brighton will knock it long. They're trying to get on the end of it with Kostulas, the 19-year-old. Oh, lovely touch there. Beautiful touch down the near side from Liverpool, who bring it forward here. Kirkes is bundled over. That was a pretty robust challenge, wasn't it, from the youngster Howell, making his acquaintance known here at Anfield.
He's not frightened of putting his foot in, is he, Harry Howell? Look, we talked about him, how good he is on the ball, that left foot driving and taking defenders on. But when needs be, he's back out helping his full-backs. Yes, silly little challenge, but I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, it's going to be a chance now for Dominic Szoboszlai, back after that ban, picked up here against Manchester City. He's going to look to swing one in from the left, right-footed in towards the penalty area, and the referee's blown his whistle instantly there. I think there's been a clash of heads as well in the box, and there's Van Hecke down, just needing maybe a little bit of treatment.
Yeah, I think it was Mo Salah who'd made the run into the 18-yard area there, or trying to get away from his marker. Well, I was just having a look to see who it was. I think it was Veltman who brought him down. But then the challenge on Van Hecke, I'm not quite sure where the head contact came.
Well, they're going to retake it here. Szoboszlai gets another goal. That's a better ball in. Van Hecke gets a header on it. Might fall far post. There's a bit of pushing and shoving. Salah will keep it in. Again, down the right side of the penalty area, and he'll let it roll out for a corner. That was a much better delivery from Szoboszlai.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful right foot, hasn't he, as we've seen over the last couple of weeks with some of the free kicks that he's fired into top corners. But he puts it into a dangerous area, and when you've got the threat that Liverpool have, just need somebody to get on the end of those.
Yeah, corner going to be swung in. 18 gone here, live on Talksport. Liverpool 0, Brighton 0. Liverpool starting to threaten here. The likes of Van Dijk waiting in the 6-yard box here. They're going to hit it low. Chiesa tried to flick it on at the near post, and now the break could be on for Brighton. Howell hooks it round the corner, but he can't find the fullback Kadioglu, and it's rather shanked out of play by Liverpool, and it'll be a throw-in for Brighton.
Well, it's Curtis Jones, and he hasn't really got a lot of pressure on him. He's not quite settled yet in that right back position. The times that I have seen him play there, he's probably had a good game. Then the next game I've seen him play, he's really struggled with positioning. And you can see he's itching, he's trying to get into those midfield positions, but at times you have to think like a right back. Just control yourself and calm things down a little bit.
0-0 here, approaching 19 gone. Brighton have a free kick. They started well, Brighton, but they've just been forced to defend more and more here. On such a poor run of results at the moment. This was a tough draw for them, having already been to Old Trafford in the previous round. Ball headed back into midfield by Brighton, and it's picked up by Liverpool. Brighton give it away again. Here now is Salah, corner of the penalty area, looking to drive, tried to feed it through. He was looking for Wirtz, but he couldn't find him, and that's well held up by Brighton. And again they try and play it forward, and Alisson comes racing out of his goal to act as a sweeper, and he rolls it out over on the far side. They just can't get out, can they, Brighton, at the moment? Yeah,
and the problem is when they do try and get out, it's a long hoof ball up front, and they're just hoping to try and find one of their teammates. And the problem is Liverpool are now starting to open up. They're trying to press a little bit higher. They're starting to win free kicks, as they've just done as I'm speaking now. Mo Salah going to ground, and you can only see Liverpool look more of a threat in that final third now, Mark, whereas in the early stages of the game it was Brighton.
Yeah, certainly was. 20 minutes on the clock at Anfield, a packed out Anfield as you'd expect. Ball now works its way. Cody Gakpo on the left looks to try and commit Veltman. He did commit him. He tries to feed Kerkez, has done really well to keep that in, and Kerkez wins a corner. Strong tackle came in from Jan-Paul van Hecke, but Kerkez did really well there.
He did fantastic. Looked as if that ball was going to just drift out of play, but went through the gears with his pace and got there just before the ball went out. Van Hecke panicked a little bit, basically just had to throw his body at it just to give that corner away, but the pressure's now building from Liverpool.
Certainly is. Going to be an in-swinging corner. Great noise here at Anfield. The Brighton fans look on. Ball's going to be swung in towards the keeper, and Steele allowed to collect it. And a cheer for Diogo Jota, of course, here at Anfield. Brighton look to play. Even the Brighton fans are joining in now.
It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. They've done it every single game, haven't they, Mark? And it's not going to stop, and why should it? Incredible.
Yeah, it is. Ball now here with Howell looking to try and attack down the left. Brighton having very few attacking chances after that initial opening spell when they had a couple of good chances. Kadioglu in particular found a couple of spots down the left. And now Steele will try and chip the ball into midfield, but that should be gathered. That's a beautiful touch from Jones, and then Kanate will go all the way back to Alisson in goal, and Liverpool will reset and look to build again. To tough it out, didn't they, up in the northeast at Sunderland in midweek? They got the goal, maybe a rather fortuitous goal. They did have a couple of other good chances as well, but they worked hard, and I think it was a good win for Liverpool on their travels. Now they want to build on that here at home against an opponent that's not in good form. Ball given away by Brighton. Now Liverpool drive forward. Chiesa peels off to the right. Here now is Gakpo, left of the area, looks to shoot. Ball bobbles up in the air. Szoboszlai can't get it. Might get it the second attempt. Here's Gakpo again. McAllister won it back. Here now is Curtis Jones, finds a pass for Chiesa. Brighton appeal for an offside flag, didn't go up. Chiesa gets to the byline, can't get the cross in. Neat football, but no real end product for Liverpool. Still 0-0.
Yeah, you can see what they're trying to do, Liverpool, as well. They're trying to entice Brighton out as much as they possibly can. If somebody's sloppy giving the ball away, on this occasion Van Dijk's forward pass went next to Kadioglu, but his clearance wasn't great. Szoboszlai's going to pick it up all day long and start to drive towards the edge of that 18-yard area. And you're right, the quality's got to be better from Liverpool in that final third. If it is, and they make that perfect pass, they're in behind Brighton, and then they are in big trouble.
Well, Brighton are going short here. Now, there are three Liverpool players stood right on the edge of the 18-yard box. And in the end, Steele just knocks it long. I don't know why they even played the short pass there. Just clear it. You know what's coming. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, it just brings on pressure, unwanted pressure. And Jason Steele's given the ball away on a couple of occasions, or he's panicked a few times. That ball that he played to Belieber a couple of minutes ago, just do not play that. Because the quality that Liverpool have got in those final third positions, in the forward places, they will pounce on you at some stage in the game, and they'll make you pay.
Well, it's Brighton who are hoping to pounce here as they go forward. Pascal Gross, he's brought down. Free kick just on the edge of the centre circle here for Brighton. They're in no rush to take it here as they look to come forward. You are listening to FA Cup Game Day on Talksport with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees apply for delivery orders, subject to availability. Prices may vary. Well, there's a chance here for a delivery of a free kick into the Liverpool penalty area. 0-0. Brighton, as much as Liverpool have had pressure, Jason Steele hasn't had a save really to make, has he?
No, absolutely, Mark. I'd say that's why it needs to be better in the final third. But this is a chance for Brighton. Gives them a breather.
Yeah, they're going to float it towards the far post. It's headed into the 6-yard box. Dunk stays forward. It's poked towards goal. It hasn't been dealt with, but the referee, I think, has blown his whistle. There might have been a high foot in there potentially, and Liverpool get themselves a free kick. It still remains goalless.
Yeah, Florian Wirtz, I think, felt the brunt of that challenge there, just limping a little bit. He is okay. It was the right decision from the referee, Stuart Atwell, to give that free kick. But that's what they need to do more, Brighton. Just gives them that little bit of a breather. Try and get in behind Liverpool, whether it's a set piece or just using pace in a bit of quality.
Yeah, Kenny did well under pressure from Salah over on that far side. Ball played forward by Brighton. It rather cannons off Kostoulis' head. Van Dijk will clear it. Howell brought it down, then was upended. That'll be a free kick. Liverpool not happy with that, but the youngster got the first touch on it and then was fouled instantly as he tried to get another touch.
He just had eyes for the ball, didn't he, Harry Howell? He saw that challenge coming in from Cody Gakpo. Probably the right decision in the end to give that foul. But this again is another opportunity for Brighton to put the ball into Liverpool's out, albeit it doesn't look like they're going to do so.
No, they're going to spread it out wide on the left. Oh, miscontrolled, and well, it was a good idea, but it was poorly executed, thrown to Liverpool. Earlier on today on Talksport, West Ham United survived Freddie Potts' red card, but they needed extra time to beat Burton Albion. Crescenzo Somerville with a goal. Mansfield came from behind to pile the pressure on Scott Parker at Burnley. Mansfield winning by 2-1. Southampton needed extra time. James Bree with a winner against Leicester, 2-1. Here come Brighton attacking again. They've turned the ball over from Liverpool. Canate can't win the challenge. Could be a shot from the edge of the box. It cannons back to Veltman, and Veltman will go back to halfway. Van Hecke will feed it forward. They're appealing for offside there. They didn't get it, but Brighton gave the ball back to Liverpool. Chiesa tries to turn it first time, looking for Gakpo. There was a vital touch from Veltman. Gakpo gets it back. There's a Liverpool player down injured. Got caught maybe in the build-up to that. Here's Szoboszlai. Touch was heavy. Ball nicked away from him. And the tackles are flying in here at Anfield. It's real knockout football. But there's a Liverpool player down. I'm sure Liverpool are going to put it out. They do. It's McAllister, I think, who's gone down, clutching his right leg.
It is Chiesa. Yeah, I think he tried to play a reverse ball, Mark, didn't he? And he got caught in the process trying to play in Cody Gakpo down this left-hand side. It was very close to getting in behind this back line of Brighton. Veltman's made a last-ditch challenge. It was a brilliant tackle. If he gets it wrong, he's in big trouble. But you're right about the challenges. They were flying. It's like a throwback. I hope the rest of the game's like that. I love to see it.
Yeah, we're getting stuck in. And the Liverpool player hobbling around is going to be okay to carry on here. We've had 27 minutes. You're live on Talksport. We mentioned what we've got coming up tomorrow. What about Monday night? What a night we have got. Macclesfield against Brentford, live on Talksport. 7:30 kickoff for that one. Macclesfield, big cup shot when they knocked out Crystal Palace in the last round. And we've also got the small matter of the top two in the Championship as Coventry take on Middlesbrough. That's live on Talksport 2, 8 o'clock. Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. And Borough flying at the minute. Coventry stumbling. Could be a big night in the Championship. You'll hear it live and exclusive on Talksport 2 on Monday. We're here live at Anfield tonight. Late kick-off in the FA Cup, and it's still 0-0. Both sides have tried but haven't yet created any genuine clear-cut chances, and Liverpool have it now deep inside their own half. McAllister will just amble forward. Nobody goes to close him down. He's over the halfway line, and he squares it off now for Jones, who gets it away to Virgil van Dijk. He's over the halfway line, down the left, looks to feed it wide to Gakpo. Gakpo on the touchline now, drives towards the edge of the penalty area, a couple of step overs, feeds it away now for Kirkes. He gets it back to Szoboszlai. He's going to look to spread the ball out wide here. Now is Mo Salah. He gets it, squares it back here. Plenty of teamwork involved here. Shot comes in, and it was inches wide, but it's a goal kick. Curtis Jones is not happy. He felt that got a touch on its way through. It was millimetres away.
Well, great move, wasn't it, from Liverpool? That crossfield pass again from Szoboszlai to Salah, just to set up Jones there. It's not far away. He's asking, he's got a case, hasn't he? And it doesn't miss by much, but it does take that deflection. And you can now know why he's asking for that corner.
That was a big deflection, wasn't it? A really big deflection. And it kept the ball out of the back of the Brighton net, and Brighton are attacking now with Howell. Good harrying back from Kirkes, who thunders into the tackle and pokes it out for a Brighton throw. Midway inside the Liverpool half. Liverpool defending the cop end here. 29 gone. Live on Talksport. Mark Wilson with a former England man, Mickey Gray, Hughes and Crofton. Producer Carr with us tonight on a chilly night at Anfield, but it's dry and it's good weather for football, as now Liverpool look to break from inside their own half. But Baliba got across and did well, and will earn his side a throw-in down below, right in front of Arne Slot. Down below us here. What will Slot have made of the opening half an hour or so, Mickey?
Well, I would say, Mark, is there's not many sides come to Anfield in the first 30 minutes have more possession than Liverpool. Well, Brighton have achieved that. 54% I think it's on at the moment, and they've had more shots, albeit they've had one on target. It's not been great in the final third from either side, I have to be brutally honest with you, but I expected more from Liverpool. I think when you come into cup competitions like this, like Liverpool have, and knowing what happened to them last season against Plymouth as well, you want to try and get the job done, or you want to get in front as quick as you possibly can. Well, they need to be better in that final third if that's going to happen.
Yeah, well, Brighton are attacking down their left-hand side now. They lay the ball off. Kennyoglu will lay it back on that far left-hand side. Brighton attacking. There are 3-4 blue and white shirts waiting. There's going to be a shot from distance, and well, it was well hit in the end from Dunk, but he pulled it just wide of the target. It remains 0-0.
I think that's 1 in 100, or maybe 1 in 1,000 if we're talking about somebody like Lewis Dunk. I'm not saying that he's a terrible player, but centre half coming up from about 30 yards out, you just got to look for an extra pass, Mark, because they had plenty bodies up the field. But taking shots on there, that's a big ask.
If you don't buy a ticket, Mickey, you don't win the raffle. Here now is Howell, gets the ball away, gets it back. Brighton are turning Liverpool over deep inside their own half a number of times here. See what, we're looking at Brighton tonight and wondering how have they only won one of their last 13 in the Premier League. Ball on this near side. But for all the good football they're playing, they're yet to create a real serious opportunity. Here's Dunk midway inside his own half, lays it off. Here's Baliba now, he goes forward, he's driving forward, looking to commit midfield. Opposition does well, retains possession beautifully, gets it to Veltman. Here's Pascal Gross. Veltman has got a player closing him down, and it's Liverpool who are having to hassle and harry just to try and get the ball back here. It's keep ball from Brighton. Now they play it forward. Lovely chest control here. There could be a break on for Howell, but he's eased off it by Kirkes, and the ball rolled back by Van Dijk to Alisson, who's looking to play out from inside his own penalty area. I think they just need to put a foot through it, but they won't do that. It's Liverpool. They chip it out, and Kirkes brings it down.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Kirkes in the first 30 odd minutes of this game. It's been impressive in the opposition's half. He's defended really well. Had to be in the right position in that situation now when the ball got played through to Harry Howell. Just used his strength just to shug him out of the way and just play a simple little ball back to Virgil van Dijk. But he started the game very well. I know people have questioned him, Mark, haven't they, since he came to Liverpool, but he's having one of his better games.
Yeah, he's certainly getting stuck in. He's made a couple of really good challenges, looking to get forward when he can. Van Hecke will look to get forward here, plays the ball with the outside of his right boot and gets it out over on the Brighton left-hand side. They're going forward now. Slide rule pass, was looking to try and get Brighton in on goal, but it was just overhit, and Alisson is out quickly to gather. It's still 0-0.
Well, one of the hardest passes in football is breaking the lines. And what I mean by that is, you've got to be so clever with your pass, and you need a runner in front of you to either hold the ball up or run onto it. And I think that's what both sides have struggled with at the moment. Football's decent until the final third, but that pass that tries to break the lines has not been right so far.
Yeah, there's been another booking for Brighton. Clarified for us, Van Hecke, who got the yellow card. It was a foul on Mo Salah inside the Liverpool half, really. A little bit of an unnecessary one to give away, but that's problematic for Brighton. Their two central defenders have both got a booking early in the game. Yeah,
and if I'm Arne Slot, I'm saying to my forward players, look, if you get the chance to get anywhere near them two centre-halves and just nick the ball around the corner, make sure you feel the contact and go to ground.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was Diego Gomez. We'll clarify that. I initially thought it was Gomez. And it does prove to be that way. I think maybe Van Hekke was just adding his 2 penneth worth to the conversation, as the players like to do. Neat football from Liverpool, gets them over the halfway line. They drive forward. Kirkes did well. He was caught by Howell. Referee was going to blow the whistle. He's let play go on because Liverpool retained possession. Here's Cody Gakpo now, wide on the Liverpool left, driving 2 blue and white shirts in front of him. Howell bundles him over. This time the referee will blow the whistle, and this is in a really dangerous position, just to the left of the penalty area, but about 18 yards out from goal.
Yeah, a little bit deeper than the free kick that Mo Salah whipped over the top with a crossbar, but Harry Howell. Look, I love his tenacity in helping out his full-backs whenever Liverpool get a ball in their final third, but there's a time and place to make a challenge, and there's a time where you've just got to stand your ground. He's made a couple of little rash challenges, and the referee's just picked up on that, Stuart Atwell. Yes, it was a free kick, but you can't keep giving these opportunities for Liverpool to whip the ball into your area.
Well, this is a chance for Liverpool. Dominic Szoboszlai is poised and ready. He's going to whip this in with his right foot. Steel waits just a yard off his line. Brighton holding a line about 10 yards out from goal here. Liverpool, 6 red shirts waiting in the middle, 3 surrounding the penalty area. Szoboszlai aims it in and it's headed in. They wait for a flag. Everybody look for the flag, and it doesn't arrive. Cody Gakpo's now the flag has gone up. Oh, no. Now the flag has gone up. What on earth has happened there? Gakpo almost gave himself up. He turned looking and said, what? I wasn't offside. The flag still didn't go up. That was probably 3 or 4 seconds after the ball went in the back of the net. We're getting a replay now.
Well, look, the time for the linesman to put his flag up is ridiculous. I think it's the right call. He's in an offside position, but how long do you want before you raise your arm? Because you can hear this crowd here. Everybody celebrated a brilliant free kick and a wonderful finish from Cody Gakpo. But the flag's got to go up quicker than that. You need a 2 or 3 seconds mark to think instinct. Is he in an offside position? Yes, put my flag up. It felt like it was 7 or 8 seconds, which is too long.
Yeah, no VAR, remember, and that was a talking point. Villa against Newcastle earlier on. There was 1 sending off. I think there could have been a couple more and a couple of penalties as well. It was all happening at Villa Park, where Villa led by a goal to 0 before Bizot was sent off for Villa, and Newcastle got 3 second half goals to win the match. They are safely through to the next round of the FA Cup. And here at Anfield it remains 0-0, 36 on the clock. Here now is Salah trying to get in behind, and he has got in behind. He's driving towards goal. Mo Salah, shot was weak and straight at Steele in the end. He just couldn't quite get away, could he, from Kadioglu? Did enough to put him off.
Well, it looked like the Mo Salah of old, didn't it? Getting alongside his marker and just shrugging him off and using that pace and that little toe punt that we've seen so many times. Looked like it was just going to drift in towards that far corner. But Steele was in the right place at the right time. But it's better from Liverpool. I love it when they direct and get the forward players involved in the game quicker.
Yeah. 7:37 gone here. 8 to go to the break. Still 0-0. Matt Wilson, Mickey Gray, Hugh Wilson-Crofton. Carl Raleigh with you at Anfield. We'll have all the reaction to come post-match as well. There's a ball now with Brighton looking to attack. They give it away. And that's a lovely pass to Gakpo, centre of the field. Gakpo goes down and earns a free kick. And Brighton are not happy with that, but Pascal Gross will just give the ball back and retreat into a defensive position. Now it's played quickly. They're looking to get Kirkes in behind here. Kirkes nods the ball down. He's going to lash it, and it's just over the top. Well, that might have been a 1 in 100 shot as well from Kirkes, but he let fly from a tight angle, and it was tipped over by Steele. What an effort that was.
Don't mind that at all. He's had a really good first half, Milos Kirkes. He made the run himself, and when he got into the area, had that little brief look up. He didn't really have anybody to pick out, so why not? It's on the half volley. Get your laces through it. What a super strike.
It was. Steele tipped it over. Corner Liverpool. The Reds threatening again here. It's going to be an in-swinger from that far side. It's drilled in again, looking for Chiesa, and this time it comes off Gomez and goes behind for another corner. Well, that's the second time they've tried it. It hasn't looked like succeeding.
Do you know what, Mark? Yeah, his set pieces, Mo Salah, been really poor. First man twice with a corner, and his free kick was really bad as well. He needs to improve and get better at it.
Well, will this be any better? This time he floats it in, it curls in, it's bouncing around in the 6-yard box, and Stuart Atwell blows his whistle and says there was a foul from Liverpool, and Brighton breathe a huge sigh of relief.
I think that's always going to favour the defenders there, isn't it? You could see Van Dijk and Konate were just hoping that the ball was going to bounce or ricochet off one of those Brighton players' hands there, but it's a better ball in from Salah, isn't it? Giving his centre-half the chance to come and attack that with their heads.
All played out by Brighton towards halfway. They'll turn it in. That looked like a foul. It was. Stoulis bundled over, and Brighton get a free kick. They've not had a lot of good ball, have they, down the other end of the field in this latter part of the first half. Brighton, they still look a threat, but Liverpool are on top.
Yeah, no, I think that they're struggling, and they're bringing on pressure themselves by trying to play out from the back a little bit too much to my liking. I think if you're going to do that and try and entice the forward players and midfield players out from Liverpool, your quality's got to be better, Mark. As you're right, they started the game really bright, they got in behind Liverpool. The last 5 or 10 minutes they've been nowhere near doing that.
No, they haven't. Ball on the edge of the Brighton penalty area again. You're live on Talksport. Here Brighton looking now to launch an attack. They try and fire it through to Howell. It was just a yard in front of him and he couldn't reel it in. Van Dijk back to Alisson, back to Van Dijk, and he will knock it towards the halfway line where Van Hecke will head it back. It's won by Liverpool. That's a foul. Belieber might be getting himself a yellow card here for a chop down on McAllister, who won the ball and was advancing quickly over halfway, and Belieber will check that his opponent's okay, but he'll have a yellow card against his name.
Yeah, I think it's a foul for the team there, isn't it? Belieber knew that if McAllister skips by him, they're in trouble. He's just poked out that left leg of his and give McAllister no chance of getting by him. So I think he just looked up straight away, shook his hand and knew he was getting that yellow card.
Yeah, no complaints about that one. That's a third booking for Brighton in this first half. Now there's a bit of a scrimmage and Howell will get the ball away, but the referee has deemed that Howell impeded the Liverpool player, and Pascal Gross is now letting Stuart Atwell know exactly what he makes of that decision. It'll be a free kick in front of the Liverpool dugout that's taken quickly, and they're going to get Salah away down the right hand side. Looks to cut in now, he's looking for teammates, lays it back, Chiesa hits it, Van Hecke clears it. I think Steele had it covered anyway, but Van Hecke wasn't to know and he hacks it out for a throw into Liverpool.
He just switched off, didn't he, at the back. Brighton again, that crossfield ball to Mo Salah, now growing into the game a lot more, isn't he? When he played it back to Chiesa on the edge of the 18-yard, it's a really difficult angle, isn't it? He's got bodies to fire through, then to beat the goalkeeper. It's a tough effort.
It is. Here's Cody Gakpo, has it on the corner of the box, lays it to McAllister, tried to get it out of his feet. Kirkes will get the ball and whips in a dangerous ball, and it's tucked in from close range. Curtis Jones it is who gets the touch inside the 6-yard box. Kirkes delivers from the left, and Jones gives Liverpool the lead. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0.
Well, the best player on the pitch so far has got a wonderful assist in Milos Kirkes. His instinct as that ball gets played back over the back line of Brighton to pounce onto it and then have that brief little look up. He's whipped it round in towards that 6-yard area, seeing the run of Curtis Jones, who's just basically got to get any contact on it whatsoever and keep it below that crossbar. But it's fantastic. What full-back play from Kirkes. What a ball into the area. And Jones just reacts quicker than Brighton, and it's a super finish.
Yeah, in from close range. He very nearly put it over the top, but it goes into the net via the crossbar. 3 minutes before the break, it's Liverpool who lead, and I think even the most ardent Brighton fans said that might just have been coming. Yeah,
well, this is Brighton's problem, isn't it, Mark, of late, where they play some nice football, not creating enough opportunities, and when they do, they're not taking their chances, where you're going to find yourself under pressure every single week, and Liverpool have started to pile on the pressure. Kirkes again, my God, he's on a mission tonight.
He is. He's having a set to with Joel Veltman, and Arne Slot just had to step in between the two there. And now Stuart Atwell will come across and add his opinion to the proceedings here. He's going to call them in. And I think he's just going to tell them to calm down. They were both going for the ball and there was a little bit of afters, but nothing too serious. 2 minutes to go to the break. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0, live on Talksport tonight. I'll tell you what, there might be some fireworks tomorrow at Birmingham. They take on Leeds midday live on Talksport. Hugh will be there with all the action. Grimsby Wolves live 1:30 on Talksport 2. Oxford Sunderland live 2 o'clock on Talksport, and Arsenal against Wigan exclusively live only on Talksport from 4:30. We'll have Arsenal in action as well in the Premier League in midweek. They go to Wolves on Wednesday night. That's live and exclusive on Talksport. So after all that, we're going to end up with Brighton getting the ball back. Stuart Atwell said his piece, and we carry on.
What weight division would you have that fight in, Mark? Flyweight?
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Yeah, featherweight, possibly. Here, Liverpool win it back, then they lose it. Howell nicks it. Will it fall here? It will fall. Chance for a shot, possibly from the edge of the area. It breaks back to Howell. Right side, little back heel, finds Veltman up against Kirkes. He back heels it. Here's a chance now. Kostoulis gets to the byline, tries to drive it in, and Cody Gakpo's there to turn it away for a corner for Brighton. Good response from the Seagulls.
Yeah, Kostoulis, he just couldn't quite work his feet out, Kostoulis, could he there? He was trying to work it onto his right foot. They did really well to get the ball into Liverpool's 18-yard area. This is a big chance for Brighton. Get themselves back in the game with a bit of quality from a corner.
Yeah, in front of the Kop end. Can they trouble Alisson in goal? There's a bit of a meeting going on here on this near side, but it's going to be swung in, left-footed. It's going to be Howell who will take it. Whips in a good-looking ball, and it's headed over the top. It was a good header as well. And over the top it goes, and there's head in hands. Hinchelwood thinks he should have done better. That was an opportunity.
Yeah, great ball into the area from this right-hand side from Howell. You see the Brighton players wanting to get on the end of that there. Quite sure, was it Kostoulis? I'm not quite sure who got the chance on Hinchelwood. Yeah,
he certainly had his head in his hands as he peeled away.
Tried to keep it down, didn't he, Mark, below that crossbar, but worrying for Liverpool how he got away from his marker.
Yeah, all played forward. We're in the 2 added on minutes, end of the first half. Liverpool leading courtesy of that Curtis Jones goal just a few moments ago. Here is Hinchelwood now. Nice little turn takes him away from Curtis Jones. Feeds it out wide on the left. Lieber has it on halfway. He'll look to feed it out to Veltman. Veltman will come forward. He now finds Howell, who switches play back to Dunk, centre of the field. Dunk goes forward, gets a give and go, tries to play it forward. Could be a chance. There's a slip. Gomez is in on goal. He pokes it towards goal, and Becker saves with his feet. An unconvincing strike from Gomez, who was presented with a gilt-edged chance there to level up the match.
Absolutely massive opportunity for an equaliser. Gomez has got to do better. As soon as the slip comes, he tries to get it onto his right foot, which then gives Van Dijk the chance just to put a little bit of pressure on him. So he rushed his shot. He kind of toe punted it. My goodness, you don't get chances like that at Anfield in front of the Kop end.
No, it looked like he was going the wrong way. He tried to get it on his right foot, and in the end he's hit it with the outside of his foot. Now, he hits that left-footed. I don't think Van Dijk's got a chance to get back. I saw Diego Gomez score 4 goals at Brighton in the Cup, the Carabao Cup earlier in the year, and 3 of them were absolute worldies. But that was a really poor strike.
Yeah, again, Mark, big chance, a big opportunity there, and you're right, he should have worked it onto his left foot just to make the angle a little bit bigger for himself. But I've got to give Virgil van Dijk a lot of credit. He switched on, he's got across, he's closed down the angle and made it really difficult for Diego Gomez. But he shouldn't have been given the chance to get across to make that challenge in the first place.
No, he shouldn't. The slip crucial, and that is it. It is half-time here. Well, Brighton started brightly. Liverpool grew into the game, started an early shot, saved by Steele, but the deadlock was broken late in the first half. Kirkes has been one of the best, if not the best player on the pitch, whipped in a lovely first-time cross down the left, and Curtis Jones was there to tap in from close range, but Brighton had a wonderful opportunity. First half added on time. Ball played to Diego Gomez. Defender slipped in front of him, in on goal, but he scuffed his shot, and Becker made the save with his feet. That is it. Tight, fine margins here at Anfield, but it's the Reds of Liverpool who lead Brighton at the break. It's Liverpool 1, Brighton 0.
You're absolutely right. Not much between the two sides. Brighton have had 55% of the possession. They've had 6 shots, just 1 of those on target. Liverpool 7 shots, 3 of those on target. It has been a virtually level game, and there hasn't been much in terms of real creation in front of goal. I think that's the thing that's really been missing. I was feeling for a while that the game would need a goal to spring into life. It's got that goal, Mickey Gray, and it hasn't really sprung into life afterwards, to be perfectly honest. Do you feel Liverpool deserved their lead?
Yeah, I think they've looked more of a threat, I have to say, in that final third, albeit they looked a little bit shaky for the first 10 minutes of the game. But I think it's saying something when your full-back is the best player on the park. It's saying that the creativity from your forward players is not what it should be, and I think that's where Liverpool have struggled. Certainly you could say the same thing about Brighton, but that opportunity just before half-time for Gomez, he's got to do better with that, Hugh. His first touch is poor, tries to open the angle, put the ball onto his right foot when he really should be taking it with his left, and just get your latest through it. It gives Van Dijk the chance to get across and make a half a challenge, makes him panic a little bit. But they're in the game still, Brighton. It's 1-0. They've showed some nice football. But I think overall you have to say Liverpool look a bigger threat in that final third.
Yeah, the ball ran onto his left foot. To be honest, he either has a touch with his left to settle himself and he puts his laces through it, or he just has a touch on the swivel with his left foot to try to guide it into the back of the net. He had a touch with his right and then went to try and shoot with the outside of his right boot again. He was never going to be given that much time in the Liverpool penalty area, and a huge chance really went begging for Brighton to equalise. The opener, when it came from Curtis Jones, you have to say, also was avoidable at the other end for Brighton. Harry Howell, the youngster, 17 years old, got a real talking to from Pascal Gross after the ball had hit the back of the net. Just didn't show really the requisite desire to go and block the cross from Milos Kerkez. The delivery was fantastic, the finish just as good as well.
Well, it's about reactions, isn't it? And Kerkez was alive before the Brighton players could switch on as that ball ricocheted back into his path. But what a super ball. I mean, he's got whip on it. He's kept it low with a lot of pace. Well, I would say it's a fantastic finish, by the way, from Curtis Jones, because it's coming at a difficult angle for him. And you've seen players that have... Cole Palmer the other week, who skied one over the top of the crossbar, very similar to that.
Yeah.
So Curtis Jones has just got to get his body in the way of it, and whatever bit of his body it comes off, just guide it into the goal. Gets a bit of good fortune, ricochets back down off the crossbar, but I think at that time of the game, Liverpool deserved a goal. Yeah, I wrote here that Jones cushioned the ball into the back of the net, almost took the sting out of it. And I think had he not done that, it might have gone over the bar, because it just, I think, kissed the underside of the crossbar on its way in. So a fantastic finish from Curtis Jones to put Liverpool in front. I think both managers are going to have a few things that they would like to correct at half-time. We've seen some very quiet players, particularly in that Liverpool front three. Federico Chiesa, Mo Salah, we spoke about before the game. We expect a little bit more from Alexis McAllister, who's grown into the game. Dominic Szoboszlai as well, who's rotating with Jones. You know, these are fantastic footballers on their day. You'd expect them to deliver more. Florian Wirtz as well. His creativity is what's lacking, I think, when you look at that Liverpool side. And then for Brighton, I think it's a different dilemma. They've got a number of players now on yellow cards. We saw in midweek a very early change for Fabian Hürzeler because of a yellow card. You kind of wonder now, will he be looking to do that once again this evening to make sure they don't go down to 10? Well, if I'm Arne Slot at half-time, you know, you've obviously got to G your players up and say, look, we need a little bit more, guys, in the second half. You know, we've got to go out and get that second goal if you possibly can. But if I'm going through them, I say, Mo, your set pieces have to be better. When you're in a 1v1 situation, you're the best in the business at it. You have been for a decade. No, show us a little bit more. Chiesa's work ethic, not at fault at all. He's running everywhere. He's like the empty crisp packet, you know, that leaves your harness flying all over the pitch, isn't it? But he's a striker tonight. Play between the 18-yard lines and get yourself on the score sheet. Leave it up to everybody else to go and do the magic. You get on the end of things. Cody Gakpo's been in this situation on a couple of times on the left-hand side, and he's tried to chop in between two defenders at once. Now, just calm yourself down a little bit. Be patient. In that midfield area, I think they will shine through. They have got too much quality, suppose, like McAllister and Wirtz, as you mentioned there before. The big thing for me, for Brighton, I mention it, Kadioglu, because he's so right-footed, they got into some great areas down that left-hand side early on in that first half, but he wants to come back onto his right foot all of the time. Well, that gives Liverpool players the chance to get behind the ball, and then if the ball doesn't come into the area, he's out of position to give the ball away, and Liverpool are on you. So Hürzeler's got to say to his players, look, take a chance, just whip the ball in one occasion with your left foot, get in behind Liverpool and ask them a different question, because I don't think they've asked enough. I think Brighton need to be safer at the back. They're fantastic at passing the ball. They want to do it time and time and time again. At times it's inviting pressure on them. These goal kicks that we've been looking at, for example, you got Dunk maybe playing it 2 yards to the goalkeeper who's just punting it downfield.
I can see that there's a clear plan to try and invite those Liverpool front six players a little bit forward to maybe give space in the opposition half. But at times when the ball goes short, they're under real pressure, and they've got away with it a couple of times.
Yeah, and as you saw, Hugh, you sat alongside me. The time that Brighton have found themselves under pressure is trying to play out from the back, and a sloppy pass, giving the ball away, gives Liverpool the chance to break on you. And that starts with the goalkeeper and with your two centre-halves and your two full-backs. If their pass isn't astute and where it wants to go, then you're in trouble. I talk about that pass between the lines. It can be a defender playing it through to a midfield player playing it to a forward player. If it's not right, you're out of position and Liverpool are on you. And that's what they've been good at for over 10 years now, with the pace and the power and the quality they got in the final third.
Great tactical contest so far here at Anfield. The home side have the lead thanks to Curtis Jones. Liverpool 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 0 in the FA Cup fourth round. You're listening to FA Cup Game Day on Talksport with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. It's 18 plus, fees apply to delivery orders, and it's subject to availability. Prices may vary. An eventful day so far in the fourth round. We're going to hear from both managers from Villa Park after Newcastle came from behind to defeat 10 men Aston Villa 3-1. That is next, along with the second half here at Anfield on Talksport.
It's a fantastico Tuesday of Champions League football on Talksport 2.
Ay! Benfica Badalena with Real Madrid.
Get a super heated full match commentary from A.
Martes por la noche, Champions League football
on the nation's favourite station, Talksport 2. Ole.
FA Cup Live on Talksport with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? The Big Arch is here to stay. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability. Price and participation may vary.
That's it. We need a bigger car.
Smart speaker, what's an award-winning SUV?
The Tucson is an award-winning mid-size SUV and is available for a 24-hour test drive.
They look great. And it's a self-charging hybrid too.
Smart speaker, search offers on a Hyundai Tucson.
The Tucson is available with 2 years 0% APR. And it's Hyundai, by the way.
Discover the Hyundai Tucson self-charging hybrid. Ends 31st of March, 25% deposit, finance subject to status. Hyundai UK is a credit broker, not a lender. Terms apply.
We're here at the Coral Fan Derby, where racing fans are ready to play Coral's Reward Shaker. Listen to that roar. What's this? They're all being rewarded. We've got the tweeters shaking their phones. They've won a £5 free bet. The Ford fanatics backing those special offers for the Cheltenham Festival. Play Coral's free reward shaker to win free bets and offers this Saturday. Oh, that's rewarding. Coral, we're here for it.
18 plus, UK online only. Max one reward offer per player per day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Reward restrictions, requirements and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
With the Little Plus Bakery Spin, you can get a free bakery coupon every time you shop. Just scan Little Plus at the checkout, spin, win, and enjoy a free bakery item. Lidl, more to value. One spin per customer per day, subject to availability. Ends 25th of Feb, 18 plus GB only. T's and C's apply. See lidl.co.uk/LPTV.
Hello, I'm the new Deal or No Deal scratch card from the National Lottery. The banker called. He doesn't think you have what it takes to beat him. But forget that guy. Play me today and you could be one of millions of instant winners and show that mean old money grabber who the real big deal is.
Pick up the new Deal or No Deal scratch card in store today. Search Dream Big Play Small. Rules apply. 18 plus.
Dearest listeners, rumour has it that Sky and Netflix are waltzing side by side. So society may delight in the romance of season 4 of Bridgerton on Netflix, then discover long buried secrets in Under Salt Marsh on Sky. Get Sky and Netflix together for the handsome price of £15 a month. Sky. Believe in better.
Prices may change during new 24 months term. £21 a month after. Requires Sky Stream and broadband minimum speed 25 megabits per second. 18 plus. Terms apply.
He's having a blinder. He's clipped the post. He's looking formidable. Then...
substitution.
His game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Sub, your bet simply rolls onto the player coming on. Playing a different league with Betfair.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Applies to singles, multiples and bet builder bets on qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply to odds boost. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Big Six Rugby Review on Talksport with the next level. Peugeot 3008. From the drop kicks in Dublin to the conversions in Cardiff. From the first touch in France to the final try at Twickers. As the home nations take on Europe's rugby elite, listen to Hawksby and Jacobs every post-match Monday afternoon as they're joined by a top rugby guest for expert pundit analysis and hard-tackling opinion. Big Six Rugby Review on Talksport with the next level Peugeot 3008 fastback SUV. The road is your field.
FA Cup Game Day on Talksport.
6 red shirts waiting in the middle, 3 surrounding the penalty area. Szoboszlai aims it in and it's headed in. They wait for a flag. Everybody look for the flag, and it doesn't arrive. Cody Gakpo's on. Now the flag has gone up. Now the flag has gone up. What on earth has happened there? Kirkes will get the ball and whips in a dangerous ball, and it's tucked in from close range. Curtis Jones it is who gets the touch inside the 6-yard box. Kirkes delivers from the left, and Jones gives Liverpool the lead. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0.
Yes, in a game of few clear-cut chances, it is Curtis Jones' goal. That's the difference so far here at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0 in the FA Cup 4th round, with the second half to come and possibly changes afoot for both managers. We'll be back with the second half very, very shortly. Just to let you know, in Super League currently, Wakefield 6, Toulouse 8 at half-time. Earlier, Hull FC beat Bradford Bulls 27 points to 20. In the Six Nations, Scotland beat England 31-20 at Murrayfield. Harry Arundel sent off for England with 20 to play. Meanwhile, Ireland beat Italy. Wales will host France tomorrow. Over on Talksport 2 right now, we've got live golf for you from the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. And coming up after us, you can have your say on all of the day's FA Cup games with the Sports Bar Weekender. Adam Catchall's alongside former Liverpool winger Jermaine Pennant. The number to call as always, 03717 22 3344. With a few minutes until the second half gets underway, let's take a look at the latest odds, all thanks to Betfair.
Odds update on Talksport with Betfair. Play in a different league this season with Safe Sum from Betfair. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Well, despite how level the first half was, Liverpool to go on and win this game 1-6 on. The draws 11-2, and for Brighton to come from behind and win 16-1. That's all thanks to Betfair, which is 18 plus. Make sure you check out gambleaware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Betfair. Play in a different league this season with Safe Sum from Betfair. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Well, earlier here on Talksport in the FA Cup 4th round, there was an all-Premier League clash at Villa Park. Aston Villa hosted Newcastle, and it was the Magpies who came from behind with a stunning second-half performance to beat their hosts 3-1 in a game packed with drama. Tammy Abraham opened the scoring, then the Aston Villa goalkeeper Marco Bizot sent off, straight red card after he rushed off his line and took out Jacob Murphy with a wild high challenge. Newcastle turned the tie around thanks to Sandro Tonali's double and Nick Voltemada adding a third as Newcastle fought back to head into the 5th round. Let's hear from both managers now, starting with Unai Emery, who spoke to Talksport's Joe Shannon after the game.
Overall, we are building the team with a lot of circumstances we had. And Premier League is the priority. And we set it like a priority. Why? Because 30 matches is giving us the consistency, achieving the objective, the main objective, to play Europe. Now we are the third, of course, to keep this position. And we are really being fantastic.
Great advert for VAR, I think. We were hoping that VAR suddenly was recalled. I mean, I've been an advocate for referees making more decisions and be less reliant on technology. And then you feel today and you think, do you know what, I wish we had it back the other way. I think that it's uncharacteristic performance from the officials. I think usually, we've been praising officials this season generally, but that was a step back. It was not intentional. I just think that was the way the game went, and every decision seemed to be against us. I thought the players did really well to keep their cool and to not allow that to disrupt our performance level.
It was a thoroughly entertaining game, so I'm sure the debate, VAR or not, is going to rear its head over the coming days. You can give the guys a call a little bit later on Sports Bar Weekender. I'm sure they're going to discuss it. That was the Newcastle boss Eddie Howe and the Aston Villa manager Unai Emery talking to Talksport at full time after the FA Cup fourth round game that saw Newcastle go through. Elsewhere, Mansfield, the League One side, caused a shock of a round, beating Burnley 2-1 away from home to add to the pressure on Scott Parker. West Ham through after extra time away at Burton Albion of League One as well. Manchester City beat Salford by 2-0. Southampton came past Leicester in extra time, 2-1. And it's 7 games now without a win for the West Brom boss Eric Ramsey. His side beaten 3-1 at Norwich City. Right, second half all set to go here at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0. The second half in the company of the former England defender Mickey Gray and Talksport's Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Hugh. No changes for either side at half-time, although there were a few subs rigorously warming up, so we may see some changes quite quickly in the second 45. I'll run you through the teams. Liverpool all in red are attacking the Kop end. Alisson has got an early touch, all in green. He knocks it long and forward over on that far side where Gakpo will lay it back and Virgil van Dijk will exchange passes. Now the ball played in towards Konate. That wasn't a good ball. Konate tried to duck underneath it, and I think he's going to get a free kick for his troubles, but he gambled there, Konate, and he's maybe got a little bit fortunate, but the pass to him was a shocker.
Well, he's still on the ground, Konate. Oh, he's got himself back on his feet now, yeah, but that is the last thing you need. Just come out for the second half and whip ball towards you, bouncing in front of you with 2 Brighton players around you. My goodness, it's not the way Liverpool want to start this second half.
No, they've got the ball on. Here's Mo Salah down the right hand side, shrugs off the tackle here. Kadioglu tries to drive towards the byline. He's outnumbered by 2. Ball's gone behind and it'll be out for a goal kick. Salah thought it was a corner. It wasn't. Alisson in goal for Liverpool. Kirkes, Van Dijk, Konate and Jones at the back. McAllister and Szoboszlai in midfield with Gakpo, Wirtz and Salah behind Chiesa, who's led the Liverpool line for Brighton. Stealing goal, Veltman, Van Hecke, Dunk and Kadioglu at the back. It's Gross, Believer and Hinshelwood in the middle, with Gomez and Howell supporting Costulas up top. But now it's Brighton trying to play out from the back, who've given the ball away, and now Liverpool will have it. And I think a second goal here, Mickey, would kill off this tie as the ball blooms up in the air off Van Hecke. It's not cleared yet by Brighton. Not the best start from either side to this second half. The wind is whistling around a little bit here at Anfield as Kirkes does well and wins a throwing down that far side.
Yeah, it is really swirly out there, isn't it? I think the players are certainly feeling it as they come out for this second half, but Brighton again trying to play out from the back, and as it goes to Veltman in that right back position, he's just got no options other than just to try and play it up the pitch or clear the ball out of play, and gives Liverpool the opportunity then to get themselves back on the front foot. They overplay at times, Brighton. I think when you're not winning football matches, Mark, sometimes the better option is just to play that ball long, just to give yourself that little bit of a breather, and they're not quite doing that.
No, they're not, as the ball out of play down in front of the Kop, and the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand over on the far side of Anfield. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0. Curtis Jones with a goal just before the break that looks to be sending Liverpool through at the moment. I wonder if we are level, extra time and penalties if required. A day of drama in the FA Cup already. West Ham needed extra time to beat AFL side Burton by a 0-0. We saw Newcastle edge out Aston Villa in a controversial but enthralling game. Here's Curtis Jones, the goal scorer, gets it back to Alisson, whose touch was heavy and his pass forward was charged down by Brighton, and it was almost turned into the net by Gomez, but it went just wide.
Well, I've got to say, both sides have came out in the second half and they've been so sloppy that Brighton could have got themselves on level terms. Liverpool have been really sloppy with the ball, trying to play out from the back. The goalkeeper, Alisson, he just got so much time, he thinks he can just take his time, play the ball up into the opposition's half. Well, you've got to be careful. Gomez, I think, on this occasion, pressed him down. He's stretched out his left leg. That can go anywhere. It can end up in the back of your net.
Yeah, it could have quite easily done here. Wirtz tries to play it forward, exchanges passes. Now Liverpool driving forward. Here's Jones, takes it off Salah. Salah trying to get on the overlap. Jones just slides it through here to Wirtz. Wirtz with a little step, trying to work it onto his left foot. Got the shot, but blocked. And Gomez has just passed it straight to Konate, who was fouled. And that's going to be a free kick for Liverpool, 30 yards out, right-hand side of the field.
Yeah, Great player, wasn't it, for Liverpool, eventually finding Florian Wirtz inside that 18-yard area. We know how good his feet are. Skipping from left to his right-hand side. He's just looking for that little angle to get his shot away. 2 Brighton players in front of him to clear their lines, but the pressure now is starting to build from the home team.
Yeah, certainly is. Szoboszlai will look to whip this one in. You can see his shirt actually being blown in the wind. It is quite windy all of a sudden at Anfield tonight. We mentioned there's no rain in the air. It's a chilly one, but conditions pretty good so far. Here's a free kick then. Brighton holding a line on the edge of the 18-yard box. He's going to play it short here, Szoboszlai. Didn't quite go as planned, but it might do now as Wirtz has it. Wide on the right. Lays it back. Szoboszlai this time puts in a great ball to the 6-yard box, headed away. And Hinshelwood heads it towards the edge of his own area and it's hooked away. I'm not sure what all the messing about was there from Liverpool.
Yeah, I think what they're just trying to do is they're trying to work that back line of Brighton, weren't they, just to get them out a little bit, Mark, weren't they? And Szoboszlai eventually, when he got his ball into the box. Great ball in, by the way.
Yeah, Kirkes has just cut out a good ball at the other end. Brighton looking to attack, trying to get it in behind. Kadioglu under pressure. Did Salah foul him? Yes, the linesman right there, Stuart Atwell, in fairness, was happy to let play go on there, but the assistant referee right down at this pitch side was saying that was a foul from Salah.
A bit of a let-off there, wasn't it, from Kadioglu? Kind of got himself in a bit of a muddle that he didn't really need to be in. 2 Liverpool players around him, and I'm quite sure if Mo Salah actually made a foul on him, to be honest with you. You can see his frustration because he thought he'd won the ball cleanly.
Yeah, Brighton have it over on the far side. We've had nearly 6 minutes here in the second half, live on Talksport. Liverpool crowd trying to roar on their team as Brighton will play out inside their own half. Hinshelwood will just roll it back to Dunk. Dunk comes forward towards the halfway line, gets it back off Baliba. One of 3 Brighton players booked in that first half. Kadioglu gets it to Baliba. Gomez made a run forward. They don't find him initially. Baliba now will go forward. He gets it out wide on the Brighton right-hand side. Brighton looking to attack. Howell just checks back. Looking now to play it is Veltman. He had the chance to cross it. He didn't take that chance. Ball now worked on the Brighton right-hand side. They're just going away from goal at the moment. Brighton are trying to press high up the field. Here's Van Hecke driving through. Still going through. Ball might break for Gomez. It's cleared away by Wirtz. And Brighton recycle it. Good start from Brighton here. They're just starting to get their passing on point here.
Great little run from Van Hecke there, wasn't it? Everything just opened up for him to run in towards that 18-yard area. He was just looking for one of his teammates eventually, but nobody was expecting the little layoff from Van Hecke.
Well, Liverpool were appealing. Kirkes thought he was fouled by Howell, but the referee said that Howell was fouled by Kirkes, and a bit of a controversial free kick here for Brighton.
Yeah, I think he's done really well there, Kirkes. As a fullback, you try to read what the wide player's doing. I think he's done it brilliantly there. And I think the contact eventually was on him, which was why he was waving his arms around. But talk about a chance for Brighton to get themselves in the game now. This free kick, don't let anybody down. Just put it in the area.
Yeah, big chance. The Brighton fans, and there are plenty of them here as well, made a long trip. Be a late finish for them tonight as they look now to see if their side can level things up. Free kick, level with the right-hand side of the penalty area, about 35, 40 yards out from goal. They're going to swing this one in towards the penalty area. It's a deep ball. Dunk heads in across goal. Becker got a good hand on it. And now the follow-up comes in. Ball bouncing in the 6-yard box. Falls to Kadioglu. He'll get it away. Shot comes in. It's over the top. But Alisson has just kept Brighton out, because if he doesn't touch that, there were 2 Brighton players waiting to turn it into an empty net. Still 1-0 Liverpool.
Well, it's a brilliant ball into the area from Gross. And Lewis Dunk does ever so well. It looks like everybody stopped, but he gets in behind them, and the way he just levers his neck to try and pull that ball back towards the 6-yard area. Alisson's done fantastic. When that ball came out, the second phase to Howell, I think he has to do better. Doesn't make really good contact with his shot, but that's a big chance, or 2 big chances for Brighton.
Yeah, ball given away by Curtis Jones, though. They're trying to drive forward Brighton here. They're on the left-hand side of the penalty area. They're trailed by a goal to 0. Here's Gomez. Wants it on his right foot. Shoots, and I think it was a cross. It turned into a shot, and there was Howell arriving late, but Alisson beat him to it. Still 1-0.
Well, Liverpool are making this really hard for themselves in this second half. I've been scrappy at times. They're not switched on defensively. They're letting Brighton back into the game with some big opportunities. And on another day, Mark, they could have put the ball in the back of the net and made this cup tie very, very exciting.
Yeah, well, it's still 1-0. 9 gone, second half. Mickey Gray alongside us here tonight at Anfield. Busy day of action across the Talksport network tomorrow. We've got 4 FA Cup live commentaries across Talksport and Talksport 2. All starts at midday. Birmingham against Leeds. That could be a cracker. Also tomorrow, Grimsby Wolves is live on Talksport 2 at 1:30. Oxford Sunderland 2 o'clock on Talksport, and Arsenal against Wigan is exclusively live on Talksport at 4:30. Are you expecting Regis Labrie to go strong at Oxford tomorrow, Mickey?
Well, I hope so. They need to get back to winning ways after that defeat to Liverpool. The form hasn't been as great over the last month and a half, maybe 2 months in the Premier League. So absolutely, a good cup run doesn't do you any harm at all.
No, it certainly doesn't. As the ball works its way over halfway. Now there's a chance for a crossfield switch to Salah. He looks to play it first time. Szoboszlai in on goal, hits it. Oh, what a goal! What a strike from Dominic Szoboszlai. Brilliant cushion ball from Salah. Liverpool strike. Szoboszlai with a finish. It's Liverpool 2, Brighton 0.
Well, is there a better player playing in the Premier League at the moment than Dominic Szoboszlai? Maybe you might argue Bruno Fernandes, but his form is absolutely top class at the minute. Wonderful free kicks, but what a move from Liverpool. From left to right, the little layoff from Mo Salah, first time with his right foot into the path of Szoboszlai. And when he just looks at that ball and gets his laces through it, we're expecting the net to just bustle, and that's exactly what happens. What a strike. He gives Steele absolutely no chance.
He hit it first time. There was a doubt he was going to get to it, but when he got there, he's hammered it. Absolutely smashed it past Steele, who did get, I think it was a forearm on it. He couldn't get his hand to it quick enough. What a strike. It's 2-0. 56 on the clock. And Anfield rocking here. The pass from Salah, out of this world, wasn't it? The cushion volley, brilliant.
It's top class, it really is, Mark. I mean, Szoboszlai, there's an argument, is he Liverpool's best player this season? Well, his form proves it at the minute, and he's getting the goals to boot as well.
And Brighton have turned it over, and Salah will drive forward again. He's got support with him. He most turned away from it. Szoboszlai will get it. He gets it now to Wirtz, who drives forward. He looked for the give and go. He's got it. Red shirt's waiting. Here's Salah. Penalty spot, lays it back. Shot comes in, blocks, and wide. Corner kick. Liverpool turning on the style at Anfield.
Well, we said the second goal, if it came for Liverpool, it was going to be a difficult afternoon or evening for Brighton in this second half. And that's proved the case. They just needed to get that second goal. Always seems to happen when they're playing towards the Kop end, but now they're starting to enjoy themselves, Liverpool. This is worrying for Brighton.
It is. A third goal here surely would wrap up a place in the next round of the FA Cup. 2-0 Liverpool lead. Great strike from Szoboszlai. What's to come now from this corner for Liverpool? Ball whipped in near post, but it goes into the side netting, and I'll allow you the opportunity to repeat what you said in the first half, Mickey Gray, about Mo Salah and his set pieces.
Well, they've got the second goal now, so they can afford these poor set pieces, but I think when they look back at this game, yes, we'd maybe expect them to go on and win this and go through to the next round of the FA Cup. But that's 4 or 5 occasions now from Mo Salah. It's not something that we've said in the past. Everything about his game, whether it's set pieces or his goals and the way he just plays the game, but been really poor, his set pieces. But we can't argue too much with his layoff for that second goal. It was absolutely top class.
Yeah, it was world class. Here come Brighton looking for a response, and almost getting in down the side there was Pascal Gross. Subs warming up for both sides, and I think Brighton are going to make some changes here because they're trailing by 2-0, and they're in danger of getting blown away in this second half.
I think they need to make that change, Mark. In fact, I think they should have made it at half-time. We saw Matoma going through a very vigorous warm-up at half-time. I think he's the player who's going to come on. Not quite sure who for. But they needed that little bit of pace in the wide areas, maybe just to put a bit of pressure on Curtis Jones. But now Liverpool have got that second goal. Very, very hard to see how Brighton are going to get back into the game.
Yeah, we are awaiting changes. And I can see down below us there are a couple about to be made. Yankuba Minta is stripped and ready to go. as is Karo Mitoma. So at least 2 changes here for Brighton, and 2 real positive attacking ones. So they've got nothing to lose now, Brighton, but they've got to get some goals, and you get the feeling they need one quickly. There's a crossfield pass. He's looking out on the far side here for Chiesa. It'll bounce to him, but he slipped, and then the Brighton player, Howell, just miscontrolled it straight out for a throw-in.
How much would you pay for a right foot like Szoboszlai's? My goodness. I mean, he's just played a crossfield pass for about 80 yards, or it looked that way. It's just absolutely brilliant. He's just full of confidence at the moment. Of course, it helps when you're banging in the goals that he is, but what a talented player he is.
Well, is he going to get a go from here? Because he's got a free kick 25 yards out, but it is probably a yard to the left of the penalty area. But we saw him whip one in the first half. I tell you what, Jason Steele will be a bit worried about what's coming here, because Szoboszlai, the form he's in, might fancy having a tilt at goal here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we do know when it does come into the area, it's going to come in with a lot of pace and a lot of whip. So those Liverpool players who are surrounding the 18-yard area now, just make a run.
Here comes Szoboszlai then. He's just scored one for Liverpool. What can he do here? He's just going to float it in. It comes off a Brighton head. It almost falls to Salah. Hits it once and then twice, and it's behind. He'd had a swing with his left foot and then one with his right foot, but he pulled it wide of the target, and it's still 2-0.
Yeah, it kind of felt like Mo Salah's season in a moment there, didn't it, Mark, where things just haven't quite fell for him. His first opportunity was on the half volley. Second one fell to his right foot, where he had to kind of snatch at it a little bit. But yeah, no, absolutely. Szoboszlai's quality from those set pieces, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, well, Fabian Herzl is not messing around here. He's emptying the bench pretty much, because he's throwing on Jorginho Rutter as well, the third Brighton player stripped and ready to go. Brighton on the attack as we speak. Hinshelwood wins it, but at the expense of a foul. Szoboszlai just went down. So I think here will come the changes. Stuart Atwell is just checking that Szoboszlai is okay, but Mitoma is about to come on. So the change is going to be made on 61 minutes here. Let's see who will make way. First one is Howell. He is replaced by Mitoma.
First coming off is Harry Howell, number 53.
Harry Howell makes way. Mitoma will come on. Also coming on, Nkuba Minta is coming on into the action as well. Looks like Belieber is one of those making way.
Is number 25, Diego
and the
Gomez. Final
change will be Diego Gomez. So Belieber, Howell and Gomez all off. Minta, Mitoma and Rutter come into the action. Well, positive action from Fabian Herzl. His side trail here by 2-0, and they desperately need some attacking threat on that field.
Well, they certainly do, Mark, yeah, but they should have done it when it was 1-0, when the game was a little bit sloppy as they all came out in his second half. But since Liverpool have got that second goal, you can hear yourselves now. They've got the crowd involved in the game, so that's their 12th man. They're playing towards the Kop. It's going to be so difficult. Look, Herzl is just searching around trying to get a win from anywhere at the moment in a performance. Well, I think they've had the performance to a certain degree, but you need to score goals to win football matches, and if you've got your better players on the bench, then it's going to be very hard.
Yeah, and it's getting even harder, because here come Liverpool. Salah squares it into the path of Jones, just went without it, falls to Szoboszlai, ghosts his way through, and just at the last second he lost control of it. It was like a knife through butter there. He just somehow emerged on the other side of it, but couldn't get the shot away. But Liverpool are asking serious questions here of Brighton, who are on the ropes, and they're clinging on for dear life.
Yeah, they are. He just lost his balance a little bit there, Szoboszlai, as he was running through. Good intricate play to find Szoboszlai, but when he got himself into the area, he was just leaning over towards his left-hand side, and the ball just ricocheted away from him. But they're starting to panic a little bit, these Brighton defenders at the back.
Yeah, they certainly are. Throwing for Liverpool, level with the edge of the penalty area. It's launched it towards the 6-yard area, but there's no one there in the red shirt, and it's behind for a goal kick. Well, there is action. There was action on the bench, but I think it was just Hugo Ekitike putting on his overcoat, because he warmed up at half-time. But I think Mickey Gray, that second goal, probably eliminated the chances of us seeing him anytime soon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. sometimes it's the way you want the game to go. You know, you want the 11 that are out there to win the football match for you. If not, you want to try and give players a rest if you possibly can. But as we've just seen from Brighton and Thomas Hurtley, you know, he's had to bring those 3 players on. And I think, you know, approach the game at the beginning of this football match with your best players on the pitch and give yourself a chance of going in at half-time, maybe a goal up or maybe even 2 goals up if you're fortunate enough. But I think bringing them on when you're 2 down at Liverpool, at Anfield, it's so hard to get back into the game. And when you're not winning football matches, you're searching around, who can I bring on, who's going to make the difference? Well, nobody can if you've got 20-25 minutes to go, because the players, you know, it takes them 5 or 10 minutes to warm up anyway.
Yeah, McAllister's just been caught again. He's down, doesn't need treatment. Just a word on what's coming up for Brighton. They go to Brentford, which is a tough ask, next weekend. Then they're at home to Nottingham Forest and Arsenal. Then they go to Sunderland and at home to Liverpool. I mean, it's not getting any easier, is it?
No, it isn't. I hope he's given time. I was speaking to Hugh in the build-up to this. You know, he's a young manager. First half of the season, they've done really well, and they do play some really attractive football, and he's given younger players the opportunity. But when you're losing football, and I've been there many times, you don't know where the next win's going to come from.
Here now is Mo Salah driving forward for Liverpool, feeds it into the feet of Chiesa. He gets it away. Szoboszlai's urged to shoot, and it works its way back to Salah, right hand side of the penalty area, just rolls it back. Liverpool happy to pop the passes about here as Brighton player just went down on his own there in the penalty area. I'm not sure what happened there. He gets back up.
It's windy, Mark.
Yeah, hopes nobody noticed. The ball now with Konate. Not a great deal to do defensively tonight. Ball down the right touchline. Liverpool in the Brighton half. Ball deflected away from Chiesa. Now Brighton will look to break. Here now is the ball played forward. Hinshelwood's pass was picked off by Kirkes. He looks to send it back from where it came. Finds Salah. And now he has it, and he's turned his man here. He's got past the fullback Kadioglu. Kadioglu gets back. And Salah tries to go past him, manhandles him off, drives into the penalty area, he's on his left foot, Salah goes down, he's had a penalty, I think it is! It is! Well, Brighton will question the hand-up from Salah that got him into the penalty area, but he fell, and Stuart Atwell points to the spot. Pascal Gross it was, I think, with a challenge, and this is a chance for Liverpool to put themselves into the next round of the FA Cup.
Well, the last thing you need is Mo Salah starting to enjoy his football. Well, that's exactly what's happening. The strength, yes, he shrugs away his first marker, but when he gets into that 18-yard area, try and stay away from Mo Salah's feet. He's so quick, and Pascal Gross makes contact with him, and it takes Stuart Atwell a couple of seconds, but I think he's came up with the right decision here. Look, Mo Salah's record against Brighton, Mark, 10 goals and 9 assists. It's just incredible. I don't know if he's going to take this penalty or not, but it looks like he's going to add to his tally if he does.
Well, referee's about to brandish a yellow card. I'm not entirely sure who to. There's a bit of a melee of players around him. Dominic Szoboszlai is just doing kick-ups in front of the Kop. And now he's going to hand the ball to Mo Salah. And here's a chance. And listen to the roar that goes around Anfield. It's not been the greatest year, has it, for the Egyptian king? But he was great for his country at the African Cup of Nations. Can he bring that form back to Liverpool? He walks back to the edge of the penalty area. Liverpool leading by 2-0. Salah earned the penalty. Now he's up against Steele to put Liverpool 3-0 up. Here he comes, skips across, comes forward and smashes it into the corner. Gives Steele no chance. Liverpool are on their way through. It's another defeat for Brighton. Salah with a penalty. Emphatic. Liverpool 3, Brighton 0.
Yeah, I think you used the right word there, Mark. Emphatic. Penalties don't come any better than that. Brilliant penalty from Mo Salah. He did all the hard work in winning the penalty in the first place. But when that ball was thrown into his hands, he wanted that penalty. And my goodness, what a strike. Well, they're turning it on now, Liverpool. And that was absolutely brilliant from Mo Salah.
Yeah, it was. Great finish. Arne Slot celebrates on the sideline. He might now make some changes. He's got some youngsters on the bench that may well benefit from a bit of game time in the first team here. You are listening to FA Cup Game Day on Talksport with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders subject to availability. Prices may vary. Here now is a chance for Minter as Brighton look to try and launch an attack of their own. They're 3 behind here. Minter with good close control, but eventually Kirkes bundles him over and bundles the ball out for a throw-in.
Yeah, great defending again from Kirkes. You've got a different wide player in front of him now in Minter, who's very tricky. He's got a lot of pace as well, so you've got to stand your ground. And so far, he's done it really, really well.
Yeah, he has. We are going to see some changes. Joe Gomez is stripped and ready to come on for Liverpool. Ball into the edge of the area. Ball bobbling around here, but it's poked away. And now, again, the offside flag goes up rather belatedly. Are the batteries running out on that official on the far side, or what's going on?
Yeah, it's a bit bizarre, wasn't it? Because from that throw-in, you're thinking every player's pretty much behind the ball anyway, and you can't be offside from a throw-in. So maybe it was the second touch. Or has he given a foul? I'm not sure, but a few little dodgy decisions tonight, hasn't there?
Yeah, ball played forward. There's a theatrical fall from Liverpool's Cody Gakpo on the far side, and here comes Joe Gomez. 70 minutes on the clock, and he will replace Wirtz. Florian Wirtz will make way. Nice round of applause. He's not been overly involved, has he, tonight, but adapting to life in the Premier League and the FA Cup here in England, it's another positive performance.
No, absolutely, yeah. Look, he was finding his feet at the beginning of the season. I certainly think he's found his feet in a Liverpool shirt now, but I got asked a few questions tonight. Not his best game, but didn't influence the game in any way that I can remember too much, Mark. But he's out there, he's worked his socks off. I think what that does now, I'm just having a quick look, it's put Gomez in that right-back position, and it gives Curtis Jones a little bit of midfield time, if you like, where we've certainly seen him over the last few seasons.
Yeah. Free kick given away by Gomez, so that's his first touch, gives away a free kick, and we're going to see another Brighton change here, and this will be Oliver Bashagli coming on for Jan-Paul Van Hecker, who was actually booked in that incident after the penalty, so he makes way, and Bashagli will come on. Played in the last round against Manchester United.
Well, what is he thinking now, Thomas Hurtzler? Is he thinking about those games that you just rattled off for us, Mark? Because Premier League's just absolutely vital for Brighton now to try and find some form from somewhere. They obviously know themselves now that they're going out of the FA Cup. And they've had a decent run at it, haven't they, over the last 5 or 6 years? Beaten Premier League sides and gone quite far. Quarter-finals last season as well. But it's coming to an end tonight, there's no doubt about that.
Hugh made a great point earlier on, you know. Teams like Brighton are going to have ups and downs. They're not going to be great every year. You know, they have overperformed, haven't they, in recent years. I think it's easy to forget that.
Yeah, 100%. 100% it is. And I think you also have to look at certain players who've left this club over the last 2 or 3 seasons for big amount of money. Lots have gone to Chelsea and elsewhere. So they're kind of rebuilding every single season. There was talk about Matoma, wasn't there? I think it was last January going away to Saudi. He was the only one who stuck around, but yeah, they need to get back to winning ways.
Yeah, Chiesa almost broke through there and he felt he was fouled. Referee was having none of it. Chiesa's hopping up and down, and Yankuba Minter is on the attack, tried to slide it through, just overhit it. The pass there, that was almost a chance for Brighton. They trail by 3-0. 18 minutes remaining here at Anfield, and it looks like Liverpool will be progressing through to the 5th round. The ball down with Brighton here. Yeah, you almost hope that Brighton hold their nerve, if you like. You know, there's no mad panic yet. In fact, there could be a chance here for them to get a goal back. There was an opportunity there. Costulas held onto it long. Here's Rutter. Rutter had a chance to shoot, didn't shoot. Then he did shoot when he shouldn't have shot.
He had to play that ball through. Mitoma's made a brilliant run in behind the back line of Liverpool, but maybe it's the story of the night tonight, where that final ball just not being there for them. And it looked lively, the substitutes that have come on, I have to say, for Brighton. But the problem is they need goals, Mark, and they're not coming.
No, and now the break is on. Chiesa, I think, just went a yard too soon, and he scampers down the left touchline, but he'll have to come back. The flag has gone up on the near side. Just over 16 minutes remaining. Curtis Jones gave Liverpool the lead right at the end of the first half. Then a fantastic goal. Mo Salah's pass found Dominic Szoboszlai. He smashed it. Hammer shot past Steele into the net for 2-0, and when Salah was broke down in the penalty area, he stepped up to convert the penalty, and that made it 3-0. And Brighton are having more of the ball now, but Liverpool know the damage is done.
Yeah, well, I think from the positive side of Liverpool is they'll be thinking, right, OK, we've won the game, we're through, but we want to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, well, that could be under threat here because they're driving forward again. Kadioglu will feed it out wide. Here's an opportunity back to Kadioglu. Shoots deflected just over the top. Was certainly worth the effort, and Brighton will get themselves a corner.
Yeah, a better position for Kadioglu in the second half to get his shot away. Worked it really well onto his right foot. See the desire of those Liverpool players to get in front just to try and block that shot any way they can.
Yeah, we're going to get more changes here for Liverpool. As it looks like we are going to see Hugo Ekitike. Ball is whipped in by Brighton. It's cleared away. Salah's after it. It's a foot race to the halfway line. Salah gets it. He's away from the halfway line. They're trying to close him down here, and they will close him down. Great work from Mitoma. Stopped Salah in on goal, and that would have really wrapped it up. But it's Brighton are committing bodies forward now. It's knockout football. They need 3 goals.
Yeah, well, Mo Salah's enjoying himself, isn't he, in the second 45 minutes. Every time he picks the ball up, he looks a threat. In a 1v1 situation with Mitoma, normally I would back Mo Salah, but not on this occasion.
Here's Minter with a shot, curls it past the far post. Alisson was looking, and it's behind for a goal kick. You remember, Sports Bar Weekender. After us, around about 10 o'clock, Adam Cattrall and the former Liverpool man, Jermaine Pennant, will be taking your calls. 03717 223344. No doubt there'll be plenty of happy Liverpool fans, maybe a few disgruntled Brighton fans making their way home tonight, and we wish them a safe trip home. I'm actually looking down because I'm impressed. They're nearly all still here. I thought at 3-0 some of them might have had an early start.
Yeah, they are. And just as we're speaking, you can hear the applause there, Mark. That substitution's going to happen, and Mo Salah's coming off the pitch tonight. And he's just given a little wave to the crowd there as well. I think he'd be happy with his performance, Mo Salah. Certainly second half, he showed us the quality and the brilliance that he's got. And he's put in a real show for his team tonight, there's no question, and rifled that penalty into the top corner to make it 3-0 for Liverpool. And quite sure the second one who's came on there, but Ekitike come on.
Ungamoa who's come on. He's come on, the youngster. Get some game time. Scored, didn't he? Right at the start of the season for Liverpool. And he is on in place of Chiesa. And Ekitike replaces Salah. Ekitike got a couple of goals against Brighton in a 2-0 win here at Anfield earlier in the season. And he's a man in good form at the minute. I want to keep that run going. As Liverpool risking it from the back. That was a poor ball. Mitoma wins the header. Now they're looking to try and play him in. Ball here now to the edge of the box. Hinshelwood maybe could have had a shot. Unselfishly passed. Minter has it. Oh, bundled over there. That's going to be a foul against Hinshelwood. And Brighton, I think, starting to realise that time is against them here. 13 remaining. You're live on Talksport. Liverpool 3, Brighton 0.
Well, they won't be the first side to come here and lose by 3 goals. There's no doubt Brighton. Well, I think this second half showing from Liverpool, maybe sending out a message that they are taking this competition serious, and I love to see that. I really do. He's put out a strong side, Arnie Slot. I think looking at those substitutions that have came onto the pitch as well, it's just a bit of game time for the Mark, just to keep them ticking over. It really is. Ekitike, we know he's been a bit of a star for Liverpool this season, but every single player, they give every ounce of what they've got tonight, and that's why they're 3-0 up and deserve and go through to the next round of the FA Cup.
Yeah, and a Slot admitted he had dilemmas over who he was going to field on the pitch tonight. He went strong and he's been rewarded in the end. They made harder work of it in the first half. Curtis Jones giving them the lead, but once Szoboszlai's brilliant effort went in, it was game over. Salah's penalty, the icing on the cake. Reminder, tomorrow, Birmingham Leeds, FA Cup 4th round, live on Talksport. Grimsby Wolves is over on Talksport 2. That kicks off at 1:30 at Blundell Park. 2 o'clock start, Oxford take on Sunderland. Now that's live on Talksport, and exclusively live, Arsenal, the Premier League leaders, take on Wigan, former recent winners of the FA Cup. That would be some upset. And then on Monday night we've got a double header. Macclesfield, Brentford in the FA Cup, live on Talksport. And it's Coventry against Middlesbrough, top 2 in the Championship going head to head. Brighton once again win the ball back high up the field. And now they'll poke it out wide on this near side. Here's Mitoma advancing towards the edge of the penalty area, drives through, pokes it towards the edge of the D, but Liverpool will get it away, and they do get it away, but give it away as well. And it's just getting a bit scrappy from Liverpool. But when you're 3-0 up, I guess you can be forgiven. But they've just got to be careful. They don't want to give anything easy for Brighton.
Absolutely. Be professional. Get the job done. But you're right, the last 2 or 3 minutes they've gone a bit scrappy again, trying to play out from the back, giving the ball away. Kanate making a run from back to front.
Here's a chance now. They'll get to the byline, they'll drive it across, it deflects, and a comfortable save for Alisson, who, Ekitike was on his bike. He wanted that thrown quickly, but it didn't arrive, and now they'll just play it out. They'll drop it on the ground, and now they'll play out from the back.
There's always a bit of pride in keeping a clean sheet. You know yourself as a player when you're out there, you get a feel, and certainly when you're 3-0 up as well, that you're going to see the game out. But I think now defenders have probably got to be thinking to themselves, well, they've got the job done at the forward end of the pitch, let's do it at the back.
Well, here's Gakpo, who's turned his man and he's driving in from inside his own half. Oh, he finds a player, but the flag's gone up. And that is such a disappointment there. Ngamo tucked it in beautifully in front of the Kop end, but he'd gone just a yard too soon. Great run from Gakpo. Liverpool have the ball in the net, but it won't count.
And do you know that the crazy thing about this is Ngamo, he didn't have to go.
I think he's onside.
He is onside. And this, we haven't got VAR tonight. There's been a couple of decisions, and certainly over the weekend there's been some big decisions, but Ngamo, he just holds his run, doesn't he? And as that ball comes out to him, and he whips it into the bottom corner, and what a moment that could have been for the young lad. It's a brilliant finish.
Well, there was some healthy debate earlier on. I'm sure the boys will be talking about VAR on the sports bar as well. We've not got it. Come on, we can't have it both ways. We can't moan when it's here, and we can't moan when it's not here.
I mean, I have to say, Mark, knowing I was coming into the FA Cup 4th round tonight, knowing we didn't have VAR, I was thrilled to pieces. But seeing the earlier games and what happened in the Villa-Newcastle game and this one this evening, albeit it's not really controversial because Liverpool have gone on to win the game, but there's some of those goals that would have stood. Some of the decisions, maybe red cards, yellow cards in other games we've seen, that could have been completely different. And here we are, still complaining and talking about VAR.
Yeah, here come Brighton again, looking at their feet. Well, there's an offside flag coming in. This time the official does put his flag up first time, and it is offside. We've got 8.5 minutes remaining on Talksport. You can have your say with the guys on 03717223344 tonight. Decisions, they always cause debate, don't they?
Yeah, but look, right or wrong, it just feels like there's a bit of freedom. You know, what I'm sick of, and Alisson's just doing his tricks at the back here, but what I'm sick of is, you know, players going out and celebrating a goal, and then 30 seconds or 2 minutes or 4 minutes later waiting around for a decision from VAR. Is it a goal, is it not a goal? Then you get that second celebration, and it just feels a little bit flat. Well, we've not had any of that tonight. It's great.
No. Here's Gakpo driving forward. He'll just lay the ball off to McAllister. He'll roll it back to Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool leading by 3-0. Should have been 4. Cancels out a lovely moment for the Liverpool youngster. It was a nice finish though, even so, wasn't it?
It was.
Buried it in the bottom corner.
Just come onto the pitch. I think it was his first touch as well. Cut in on that right foot. Super finish.
Yeah, certainly was. Ball out wide on the Liverpool left. You get the feeling there's going to be another goal in this game. Ekitike's layoff was a poor one. Jorginho Rutter will pick it up, and now Brighton will drive forward again. Jones tried to make the tackle, and in the end Brighton overrun it, and they'll get a belated free kick. And even at 3-0, Anfield is not happy with that decision from the official, although to me it did look like a foul.
Yeah, they want to see more goals, don't they? They've enjoyed themselves, these Liverpool fans and players. Well, certainly in the second half, as you said, when they come out in the first half, first 10 or 15 minutes, it was all Brighton. But they found another gear, Liverpool, as they tend to do on many occasions. And some of the goals we've seen this evening.
Pascal Gross swings it to Kaoru Mitoma, left-hand side of the penalty area. He lays it down, and it's overrun, but it comes off Kanate, and it'll go out eventually for a corner. Kostulas it was who won it for Brighton. Is there a consolation in it? It's over 6 minutes remaining here. Going to be swung in. Can Liverpool keep their goal intact here? Ekitike patrols at the near post. Ball is going to be swung in, and it's over Ekitike. Allison punches, flicked away, edge of the box. Nice pass here, finds Pascal Gross. Left-hand side again of the penalty area. He's got two red shirts in front of him. Nice touch. Gets it back now to Kadioglu, who tries to swing one in. Now, the break could have been on. If Curtis Jones had brought that down, it was 4-on-2.
Just needed to get his first touch better there, Curtis Jones. It did come at him very quickly, but it was a 3v2 situation.
Kuba Minter almost went past McAllister. Now he whips in across towards the far post. Koutsoulas couldn't get off the ground. Picked up by Kadioglu. He gets it away to Minter. To Matoma. Ball now squared. Chance for a shot maybe from distance. Well, the shot comes in, but it was none too convincing and dragged well wide of the target. Still, Liverpool 3, Brighton 0.
Has to be better than that, doesn't it? When you're given opportunities. Wiefer on this occasion on his right foot. He's got plenty time at the edge of the 18-yard area. It'd be nice to actually see them get on the score sheet, Mark, just to give them that little bit of confidence going into those big Premier League games that they've got coming up, Brighton. But I said before, the two wide players who've come on, Matoma and Minter, have looked pretty lively, I have to say. Rutter maybe could do a little bit more, but they just need something to hang on to, Brighton.
Yeah, I mean, you made a point earlier that worried me a little bit, because you said about they're not playing badly, but when you're not playing badly and not winning, when you start playing badly, what happens then?
No, absolutely. I think at times they can maybe just play that longer ball. Playing out from the back sometimes maybe brings on pressure or unwanted pressure. But it's in the final third where it counts, and you have to start getting goals.
Yeah, here now is a chance for Liverpool. Lay it back to the edge of the box. Curtis Jones had the chance to shoot. It now works its way out wide. Kerkez passes intercepted though, and Brighton are racing forward. They need a quick pass forward, and they just held onto it a little bit too long there. And there was an opportunity for Koutsoulas to be played in. It didn't quite reach him. It might do now. Here's Karol Mitoma on this near side. He will work his way forward. 25 yards out from goal. Brighton looking for a consolation. Ball played now to Mitoma. Drives it towards the penalty spot area. It comes off the thigh of a Liverpool player. Bit of head tennis and shoes. It's hit first time by Mitoma. It was straight at Alisson. It's a good job. It bounces off the Liverpool keeper, and it's put behind for a Brighton corner.
Well, he's caught it sweet, hasn't he? Mitoma, there's that ball. We can see the wind is causing problems, but what a strike.
Yeah, here now is Gross. Lays it back, Mitoma whips it in. It's brought down on the penalty spot area. Turn ball laid back, shot takes a deflection. Another Brighton corner on the way here. Liverpool about to make a couple of changes of their own. Trainioni and Calvin Ramsey about to come on for the Reds with just 3 minutes remaining. Corner for Brighton, who are asking questions laid on here, but they trail by 3-0. Jones, Szoboszlai and Salah with the goals. Ball swinging near post, headed away at the near post. Pascal Gross will lay it back. Toma gets it away and then we'll get it back, but it's not convincing at the moment from Brighton. What can they deliver here from the left? Trying to play their intricate football. And the ball now is back and floated towards the far post, where Szoboszlai will head it away straight to Veltman. As Minter drives forward, is he going to unleash one from 25 yards? He's thinking about it, but he wanders across the face of the penalty area. Now Kadioglu will wander back the other way, and he'll play it out wide on the left. That's a poor pass, and in fairness, Brighton have done well to keep that in. Could be a chance now. Cross driven in, and Canate gets a good header on it. It'll fall back to Brighton, though. A chance to put the cross in here. Big chance, edge of the box. Shot comes in, and it's just wide. Rutter it was, who's just pulled his shot wide of the post. I think Alisson is beaten if it goes in the corner, but Brighton missed the target again. It remains 3-0.
Well, another good opportunity starting to open Liverpool up here. At least they're showing confidence and a bit of guile in that final third, Brighton. And Rutter, he should be hitting the target from there. I think if he does hit the target, you're right, Alisson is static and it looks like it's going to find the corner, but they've looked lively at the end of the game, which is a positive for Brighton. There's no question of that.
Curtis Jones.
Cody Gakpo and Curtis Jones are about to be replaced. Trenioni and Calvin Ramsey will make their way onto the field here for the final few minutes. Arne Slot makes his 4th and 5th substitutions. It's been a good night's work for those in red. Liverpool safely through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. And in a season that has stuttered along for Liverpool, they continue to fight in Europe and in the FA Cup as they chase down Champions League football for next season as well. Can they get a 4th goal? We're into the 90th minute. The game's not had many stoppages. Here's a chance then for Liverpool. Ball played out wide by Nioni, looking to drive in behind Liverpool, but Winter is back defending, and we await the 4th official to tell us how long will be left here at Anfield.
Must be great coming onto the pitch if your side's 3-0 up, Mark, isn't it? You're young lads. Manager probably turned around to you and said, look, just go out there and enjoy yourself, show us what you're made of. And the young players, Ungamoa over on that left-hand side, looks a real live way. I've seen him a couple of times. He does more step-overs than Ronaldo, I think, when he came to Manchester United for those first couple of seasons. But there's no doubt he's got great talent and great ability.
Yeah, well, he bent it in the bottom corner like Ronaldo as well. 4 added on minutes here at Anfield. Busy day tomorrow, busy night tonight. The boys on the Sports Bar Weekend, Adam Cattrall and Jermaine Pennant will be having their say on this game and looking ahead to some of the games tomorrow that we've got live on the Talksport network. It is another huge weekend of football. European football returns as well, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on the Talksport network. Here's Ekitike. Not too many touches since he came on. As the Liverpool fans sing their way into the next round of the FA Cup. It's been pretty straightforward, truth be told. They struggled early on to get the ball, but once they started dominating possession, Mickey, they only really looked to be one winner.
Yeah, you're right, it has. A comfortable night for Liverpool, with maybe a few little scares where I think things to work on are the first 10 minutes where they needed to be better, and maybe on 2 or 3 occasions in the first and second half they just got a little bit scrappy at times and give the opposition the chance to get back into the game.
Well, the chance fell, didn't it, to Diego Gomez after the goal, in on goal, and he fluffed his lines. Here now is a chance for McAllister, 25 yards out, lays it out on this near side. Here's Ramsey, puts the ball in, it's headed away, it'll be kept in over on that far side. Gamora has it. He could have had a shot. He laid it to Ekitike, who almost got his way through, and Brighton somehow get their way out of danger. 5th round draw, that'll be live on Monday just after 6:30. We'll have that and all the repercussions of it on Talksport as we're 2 minutes into the minimum 4 added on here. And Arne Slot will be pleased. His decision to be bold and go strong has paid off handsomely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see that he's taken this competition very, very seriously, and a real professional performance from his side tonight. Put out a strong 11, bringing on strong substitutes and giving younger players the opportunity when he knows that the game's done and dusted, and I love to see that.
Yeah, it's been an exciting night in some ways for Liverpool. Szoboszlai continues, his star continues to rise. That second goal, a world-class strike from a man who's playing at the top of his powers at the moment, and he continues to thrill the crowds in the Premier League and the FA Cup.
Yeah, brilliant strike, wasn't it? Great move, the diagonal pass towards Mo Salah and that lovely little layoff. And Salah as well as a talking point, Mark. I think he played really well today, I have to say. Certainly second half he showed us the old Mo Salah, if you like. I know he loves playing against Brighton, but that's what Liverpool have been crying out for. We know how good he's been over the years, one of the best Premier League players we've ever seen. And when he dips his forms, if it's 5 or 10%, then people start looking at star players like that. But he certainly rose to the occasion tonight.
Yeah, and I think probably the most pleasing thing for Liverpool was that link-up when he walked forward to take the penalty. The roar around Anfield says that maybe those bridges have been mended that were broken earlier on in the season. Brighton attacking, but Minter's worked hard since he came on. He's won the ball back, but it's won back by McAllister. We're in the final few seconds. There may be one last chance for Brighton here. Kadioglu will get it away. Mitoma instantly closed down by 2, puts in a lovely ball. Kirkes will turn it behind for a corner. He wasn't to know what was behind him. He did the right thing. And it's good defending from Kirkes on the far side.
Yeah, been like that all night, Kirkes, I have to say. As a defender, first and foremost, do your job, keep clean sheets. He's defended well, he's attacked well. Yeah, he's given a corner away, of course, and you want to try and clear the lines if he possibly can, Liverpool, but he was in the right place again at the right time.
Yeah. Last chance then for Brighton. Their FA Cup exit confirmed. Can they take a goal with them back down to the south coast? The ball over the top, and that's it. The whistle goes. Anfield rises as one. Liverpool safely through to the 5th round again. The 8-time winners made in the end light work of Brighton, who played okay in the first half, but Curtis Jones put Liverpool in front with a lovely finish after good work from Kirkes down the left. That was 1-0, and possibly the biggest moment in the game came shortly after. A slip in the Liverpool defence, but Diego Gomez cleaning on goal. But he went with the outside of his right foot when it looked easy to hit it with his left, and the shot was weak, and Alisson saved with his legs. Then, second half, Liverpool on top. Lovely crossfield ball. Salah volleyed a cushioned pass into the path of Dominic Szoboszlai, who smashed it in, a hammer-like shot. Gave Liverpool a 2-0 lead, and when Salah was upended in the penalty area, he stepped up to convert the penalty that he'd won for his side, and that made it a pretty good night. Liverpool had one chalked out wrongly late on, but it wasn't to matter. Brighton's wait for a win goes on. Their form is worrying for everyone involved with Brighton and Hove Albion, but Liverpool are through, and they'll be a threat in round 5. They've won it here. Liverpool 3, Brighton 0.
Standing ovation from the Liverpool supporters. The last few days have probably lifted the spirits here at Anfield. Arne Slot applauds in turn for the great support he asked for this evening tonight. He got it, that's for sure, after their defeat here by Manchester City last weekend late on. The performances against Sunderland in midweek and Brighton tonight have been exactly what the doctor ordered for the Reds and their boss Slot. His 4th round embarrassment against Plymouth Argyle last year now forgotten. He takes the team into round 5 for the first time. Mickey Gray, a very good evening's work for Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. As we said in commentary, I think it was a professional performance from Liverpool, who just needed to get the job done tonight. But I think they got the opportunity tonight as well to showcase how good they can be. And when they started to put the ball in the back of the net, some brilliant moves and obviously some wonderful goals as well. But I think the pleasing thing for them is individual players that maybe have not been at the top of their game. They turned up tonight. Kirkes has not had the best of times since he came to Liverpool. I thought he was outstanding tonight. Mo Salah raised his game, certainly in that second 45 minutes, and got his goal as well from the penalty spot, which he won. And Dominic Szoboszlai, he's Liverpool's best player this season, but again, what a super strike after an incredible move.
He's hitting the ball so well at the moment. A cushioned pass into its path perfectly from Mo Salah, and the finish was even better. Smashed into the top corner. That one pretty much put it past Brighton on the evening, but Salah added the penalty afterwards, after, as you mentioned, Mickey, all of his own doing to win it. Fantastic result for Liverpool tonight. And how much can you take away from it when you look at it from the Brighton angle? Because I don't think it was maybe their strongest or most experienced team. Younger players in the team tonight. How do you think what do you think they would have learnt? What do you think Fabian Herzl will be feeling?
Well, I think when you've lost a game 3-0 like they have today, in the back of his mind he'll now be thinking, right, now I can concentrate on Premier League football and keeping us safe from relegation. But he's given younger players the opportunity to play in a great stadium like Anfield tonight. Look, they didn't let anybody down at times. They played some really nice football. But he will be probably looking at that midfield and forward area and thinking, right, we've got to try and find ways of breaking teams down. How can we score goals, get ourselves in front, give ourselves something to hang on to and give us that little bit more confidence? Because defensively at times he looks solid, but I think overplaying at the back, from goalkeeper to 2 centre-halves to your full-backs, at times I think they overplay and they get themselves in trouble. So there's things like that where after he watches that game back over the next couple of days before their next game in the Premier League, they think, right, okay, well, let's cut that out for 5 or 10 minutes and let's ask questions of who we're playing against. So overall, yeah, it was a decent performance from Brighton, but you can see the vulnerabilities of lack of confidence and at times overplaying. And I think if they can cut that out, they'll be fine.
we shall see what the future holds for Fabian Herzl. The Brighton fans are still here inside the stadium, making their way out very slowly indeed. It's another defeat for their side, but not the kind of evening I feel will pile extra pressure on the manager. Liverpool just too good on the night. Just a reminder, in Super League, I think they're in the closing moments. Wakefield are 16 points to 18 behind at home to Toulouse. Hopefully that game near the final whistle time though, and I think we know who we're going to choose for us to pick our man of the match with McDonald's.
Man of the match on Talksport with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? The Big Arch is here to stay. Available from 11 a.m. Subject to availability. Price and participation may vary.
Fullbacks Union.
Oh, well, I'm pleased you said that, Hugh, because when you said I think we know who we're going to choose, look, I've just been looking down at the pitch, and Sabozlai was there with Mo Salah, and it's always the forward players, the ones who get the goals, who always seem to get man of the match every single week. Well, the 90-minute performance out there today was Milos Kerkez. He was the best player, and he is my man of the match.
Yeah, absolutely sensational, and starting to look every inch a Liverpool player as he grows into the shirt. Milos Kerkez, our man of the match, all thanks to McDonald's.